The rope snapped, and the small boy flew into the dark water before anyone could grab him. Women screamed from the shore as rough waves hit the wooden boats. One man froze, another dropped his net and backed away. But Rhett Sinclair had never been able to watch someone suffer and do nothing. He kicked off his worn sandals and jumped into the sea. "Hold on!" Rhett shouted as the boy's head rose between two waves. "I cannot swim!" the boy cried before the water covered him again. Rhett reached him and pulled him close. A broken rope had wrapped around the boy's ankle and was dragging him toward a heavy net below. Rhett went under, grabbed the rope, and pulled. Cut into his fingers, but he refused to let go. On the shore, a young woman in a faded yellow dress pushed through the crowd. "Give me that knife!" she shouted at an old fisherman. She took the knife and ran into the shallow water. "Stranger, catch this!" The knife landed beside Rhett. He caught it, cut the rope, and lifted the boy above the waves. "Breathe," Rhett said. "You are going home. Do you hear me?" He carried the boy toward the shore. The young woman helped pull the child onto the sand and pressed on his chest until he coughed up water and began to cry. The crowd cheered, but Rhett sat beside them, breathing hard, with blood running from his hand. The woman stared at him. "You could have died." "So could he," Rhett answered. Rhett was tall, broad-shouldered, and handsome, even in the rough shirt and old trousers he had bought from a roadside shop. His hair was wet, and seawater ran down his strong face. Nothing about him looked rich now. That was exactly what he wanted. Only one day earlier, Rhett had stood inside the largest house in the city, wearing a black suit worth more than every boat on that beach. His father, Walter Sinclair, had thrown a file across the dining table. "You will marry Delia Frost before this year ends," Walter said. "Her family will join their company with ours." Rhett did not touch the file. "I do not love her," Walter laughed. "Marriage is business. Not to me. Everything you have came from me." "That is the problem," Rhett said. "Every woman I meet sees your money before she sees me." Walter's eyes hardened. "What foolish thing do you plan to do?" Rhett looked through the glass wall at the cars, guards, and bright city lights. Women smiled before he spoke. Friends agreed with him even when he was wrong. People laughed at jokes that were not funny because they wanted something from him. He no longer knew who cared about him and who cared about the Sinclair name. "I am leaving," Rhett said. Walter stood so fast that his chair fell backward. "You will not walk out on this family." "I am not walking away from the family. I am walking away from the money. You would not survive 1 week without it." Rhett removed his costly watch and placed it on the table. Then he added his car keys. "Then I will find out." Walter pointed a shaking finger at him. "The moment you leave, do not expect me to rescue you. I am not looking for rescue." "What are you looking for?" Rhett looked his father directly in the eyes. "Someone who can love me when I have nothing." Walter laughed again, but Rhett heard anger behind it. "You think poor people are more honest?" "No. I think money makes it harder to know the truth. You are acting like a child, and you are trying to sell my marriage. This agreement will protect everything our family built. I will not marry a woman so you can sign another contract." Walter struck the table with his palm. "You will regret speaking to me this way." "I may regret many things," Rhett answered, "but I will not regret choosing my own life." Before sunrise, Rhett took a public bus far from the city. He carried one small bag, used the name Rhett Hale, and followed the road until it ended at Seabrook Village. He wanted a place where no one knew the Sinclair name. He planned to work, live simply, and discover what people saw when his money was gone. He had been there for less than 3 hours when the storm hit and the boy fell into the sea. Now the young woman wrapped a strip of cloth around Rhett's bleeding hand. "You are new here," she said. "Yes. What is your name?" "Rhett Hale." "I am Mina Clark. The boy you saved is my cousin, Theo." Rhett looked at the child who was holding his mother. He was brave. He was terrified. Being brave does not mean you are not scared. Mina tied the cloth tighter. "You speak like a teacher, but you dress like a man who fought a rubbish pile." Rhett laughed. It was his first honest laugh in months. Mina pointed at the broken boat he had paid to use that morning. That boat is finished. I can repair it. With what money? Rhett said nothing. Do you have family here? She asked. No. A home? No. A job? Not yet. She folded her arms. So you came to a fishing village with no home, no work, and no idea how to fish? I know how to learn. An older fisherman walked over. Mina, we cannot carry every stranger who reaches our shore. He saved Theo, Mina replied. That does not mean he is honest. Rhett stood, although his legs were weak. You are right not to trust me, Rhett said. I am not asking for free food or money. Give me work. If I fail, send me away. The man narrowed his eyes. I am Elias Clark. Fishing begins before sunrise. You will clean nets, carry baskets, repair hooks, and smell like fish all day. I can do it. The sea does not care if you are tired. Neither do I. Mina looked at Elias. The old storage hut behind our house is empty. He can sleep there until he earns enough for a room. You decide too quickly, Elias warned. And you forget too quickly, Mina said. Theo is alive because this man did not decide slowly. Elias looked at Rhett for a long moment. 1 week. You work for your food. You cause trouble, you leave. Rhett held out his good hand. Agreed. Elias shook it and walked away. Mina lifted Rhett's small bag from the wet sand. Come before he changes his mind. Rhett followed her through the village as the storm began to fade. For the first time in his life, no driver opened a door for him. No guard cleared a path, and no one cared about his family name. He was cold, tired, almost broke, and walking toward a tiny hut that smelled of salt and old nets. Yet when Mina looked back and smiled, Rhett felt something he had not felt inside his father's mansion. He felt free. Rhett followed Mina through the narrow village path while water dripped from his clothes. The storm had almost stopped, but the ground was still wet, and his sandals sank into the mud with every step. Mina looked back at him. You are walking too slowly. I almost drowned. You did not almost drown. You jumped into the sea like you were trying to fight it. I won. The sea is still there. Rhett smiled and hurried after her. They reached a small house near the beach. The walls were old, but the front yard was clean. Fishing nets hung from wooden poles, and several empty baskets sat beside the door. Mina pointed behind the house. The storage hut is there. Rhett walked toward it and stopped. The hut was smaller than his bathroom at home. It had one window, a weak wooden door, and a thin mat on the floor. Old nets filled one corner, and the smell of fish sat heavily in the air. Mina watched his face. Is it too small for you? No. You looked shocked. I am only wondering where the rats sleep. They will decide after they meet you. Rhett turned to her. That is not funny. It is a little funny. She gave him his bag and started walking away. Sleep quickly. My uncle will wake you before sunrise. How early? Mina stopped. You will find out. That night, Rhett lay on the mat and listened to the sea. His back hurt, his hand burned, and a mosquito kept flying close to his ear. He covered his head with his shirt, but the smell inside the cloth was worse than the mosquito. At his father's house, he had slept on a soft bed with cool air blowing through the room. If he needed water, someone brought it. If he felt cold, someone closed the window. Now he had one bottle of water, a hard floor, and a roof that made strange sounds whenever the wind moved. Still, he did not regret leaving. He closed his eyes, but it felt as if he had only slept for 1 minute before someone began hitting the door. Wake up! Elias shouted. Rhett sat up quickly and hit his head against a wooden shelf. Ow! Fishermen do not shout at shelves, Elias called. They wake up. Rhett opened the door. The sky was still dark. It is the middle of the night. It is morning. There is no sun. The fish do not wait for the sun. Mina stood beside Elias, holding 2 baskets. She looked fully awake. Rhett stared at her. Do you ever sleep? Yes, when work is done. When is work done? She handed him the baskets. I will tell you when it happens. They walked to the shore, where several men were already pushing boats toward the water. Rhett tried to help Elias move one of the boats, but the boat barely moved. Push with your legs, Elias said. I am pushing. You are touching it. That is different. Two fishermen nearby began laughing. One of them was a wide man named Conway Reed. He had thick arms and a deep voice. Look at the new fisherman, Conway said. His hands are soft. Rhett looked at him. They will not stay soft. Conway laughed harder. He talks like the sea has already accepted him. Elias pointed at the boat. Talk less. Push more. Rhett bent lower and pushed until his arms shook. The boat finally moved into the water, but his foot slipped, and he fell face first into the shallow sea. The fisherman laughed again. Mina covered her mouth, but Rhett saw her smiling. You too? He asked. I tried not to. You did not try very hard. She offered him her hand and pulled him up. This is only your first fall. How many are there? For you? Maybe many. Once the boat was ready, Elias gave Rhett a pile of wet nets. Put them inside. Rhett lifted the first net and nearly dropped it. It is heavy. It is wet. Why did nobody warn me? Elias looked at Mina. Did we forget to tell him that fishing has water? Mina shook her head. We should have explained it slowly. Rhett carried the nets one by one. By the time he climbed into the boat, his arms already hurt. The boat moved away from the shore as the sky slowly became brighter. Rhett sat stiffly while the waves lifted the boat up and dropped it again. Mina watched him. Are you afraid? No. You are holding the side like it owes you money. I am protecting myself. From water. From falling into it again. Elias handed Rhett a rope. When I say pull, you pull. That sounds simple. It is not. Elias threw part of the net into the sea. Mina helped guide it while Rhett watched. Now pull, Elias ordered. Rhett pulled too early. The rope slid through his hands, and the net twisted. Elias shouted, Stop! Rhett froze. What did I do? You pulled before I said pull. You just told me that when you say pull, I should pull. I had not said it yet. You said the word while explaining it. Conway's boat was close by, and his laughter carried across the water. The city boy is arguing with a rope. Rhett's face became hot. I am not from the city. Mina looked at his hands and his way of speaking. You do not sound like a village man. I moved around. Where? Many places. She studied him, but Elias cut in. Ask him questions later. Fix the net now. Mina moved beside Rhett. Watch my hands, she said. Do not pull against the wave. Wait for it to move back. Then pull. Rhett followed her steps. Like this. Slower. Now? Yes, keep it straight. Together, they brought the net closer. Several silver fish jumped inside it. Rhett smiled. We caught them. Mina smiled back. We caught them because you finally listened. The boat stayed at sea for hours. Rhett pulled ropes, carried fish, and nearly dropped a basket twice. His hands became red, and his back felt as if someone had hit it with wood. At one point, he sat down and breathed heavily. Elias looked at him. Tired? A little. You can return to shore. Rhett looked up. Are we done? No. You can return alone. Rhett understood the test. He stood again. I am not leaving. Elias gave him another rope. Then work. By the time they returned, the sun was high. Rhett climbed out of the boat, but his legs still felt as if the ground was moving. Mina handed him a basket of fish. Take this to the market. Rhett stared at it. I thought we were finished. You asked when work ends. Yes. It does not end here. He lifted the basket and followed her through the village market. Women called out prices while buyers moved from table to table. Mina placed the fish on a wooden stand. Fresh fish, she shouted. Caught this morning. Rhett stood beside her. What should I do? Sell. How? Speak. To strangers. Mina laughed. You jumped into a storm, but talking to customers scares you? I do not know the price. She picked up one fish. This size is 8 coins. The smaller ones are 5. Do not let anyone trick you. An older woman stopped at the table. How much for this one? She asked. Rhett answered, 8 coins. I will give you 3. Rhett looked at Mina. Mina folded her arms. Rhett turned back to the woman. 7, 4, 6, 3. You already offered 3. I changed my mind. 2. Mina stepped in. It is 8. The woman smiled. I was only testing your new worker. You nearly bought the fish for free, Rhett said. The woman laughed and paid 8 coins. After she left, Mina shook her head. You almost lost 6 coins. She looked honest. People can look honest while taking your money. Rhett's smile faded slightly. I know. Mina noticed the change in his face. What happened? Nothing. You looked sad. I remembered someone. Who? Rhett began arranging the fish. It does not matter. Mina did not push him. She simply stood beside him and called out to more buyers. As the hours passed, Rhett became better. He greeted people, explained which fish were fresh, and refused unfair prices. One man tried to take a large fish for the price of a small one. Rhett held the basket back. That is not the price. The man frowned. You are new here. Do not speak to me like that. I am new, but I can count. Mina quickly moved closer, ready for trouble. The man looked from Rhett to Mina, then threw down the correct amount. Keep your fish. You already paid for it, Rhett said. The man grabbed it and walked away. Mina stared at Rhett. You learn fast. I had a good teacher. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Rhett noticed how the sunlight touched Mina's face. She was not dressed in costly clothes, and she wore no gold. But her smile felt more honest than any smile he had seen at the parties in his father's house. Mina looked away first. You are staring. I was thinking. With your eyes on my face? I can think in many directions. That was a bad answer. It was the only one I had. She tried not to smile, but she failed. If you're enjoying this video so far, please consider subscribing to my small channel. My wife promised to make me a chocolate chip cookie if I hit 100,000 subscribers before the end of 2026. So it would mean the world to me. That's it, and thanks for listening this far. Now let's continue. When the market closed, Rhett helped Mina carry the empty baskets home. His shoulders hurt, and his shirt smelled badly, but he felt proud. Elias was repairing a net outside the house. You survived, he said. Were you hoping I would not? I expected you to run. I do not run from hard work. Elias looked at his damaged hands. We will see. The next morning was worse. Rhett woke with pain in every part of his body. Still, he got up before Elias knocked. By the 4th day, he could pull a net without falling. By the 6th, he could tie several fishing knots. By the end of the week, even Conway had stopped laughing every time Rhett entered the boat. One evening, Mina sat beside him outside the hut and placed a torn net across their knees. Put the rope through here, she said. Rhett copied her movement. Like this. No, you made it too loose. She moved closer and guided his fingers. Pull it tight, then turn it back. Their hands touched. Both of them became still. Mina slowly moved her hand away. You understand now? Yes, but Rhett had not been thinking about the net. Mina looked down as if she had suddenly become very interested in the rope. You are doing well, she said. That sounds like praise. Do not become proud. Too late. She smiled. Rhett wanted to tell her who he was. He wanted to explain that he had never repaired a net before because other people had always done everything for him. But he remembered why he had come. He needed to know whether she could care about Rhett Hale, the poor fisherman. Not Rhett Sinclair, the billionaire's son. Mina looked toward the sea. You are strange. That is not the first time you have said that. You work like you are trying to prove something. Maybe I am. To who? Rhett looked at his torn hands. To myself. Mina nodded slowly. I think you will become a good fisherman. Rhett looked at her. Is that what you think? She met his eyes. I think you may become many things. The words stayed between them. Neither Rhett nor Mina said what they were beginning to feel, but when she stood to leave, they both wished the evening had lasted longer. The next morning, Rhett woke before Elias knocked on the hut door. His back still hurt from the long days at sea, but his hands were becoming stronger. The cuts on his fingers had started to close, and he could now tie a fishing knot without asking Mina for help. He stepped outside and found her lifting 2 empty baskets. "You are awake early," Mina said. "I wanted to surprise your uncle." "You cannot surprise Uncle Elias. I think he sleeps with one eye open." From the other side of the yard, Elias called out, "I heard that." Mina looked at Rhett and whispered, "See." Rhett laughed and took one of the baskets from her. They walked toward the shore as the sun began to rise. Many fishermen were already pulling boats from the water. Their faces did not look happy. Conway stood beside his boat with his arms folded. "What happened?" Rhett asked. Conway pointed toward a large truck parked near the market. A tall man in a clean brown shirt stood beside it, speaking with 2 workers. "That is Blaine Mercer," Conway said. "He buys most of the fish in Seabrook." "Why does everyone look angry?" "Because he cut the price again." Elias dropped a basket onto the sand. "Last week, he paid 10 coins for a basket of small fish. Today, he says he will pay 6. Rhett frowned. "Then sell to someone else." Conway gave him a tired look. "You still think everything is easy." "I did not say it was easy. Blaine owns the only cold truck that comes here every morning. If we do not sell to him, the fish may spoil before we find another buyer." Blaine clapped his hands loudly. "Bring your fish forward," he shouted. "I do not have all day." An old fisherman named Amos carried his basket toward him. Blaine looked inside and shook his head. 5 coins. Amos stared at him. "You said 6. Your fish are too small. They are the same size as yesterday. Then you should have caught bigger ones today." Amos tightened his grip on the basket. "My wife needs food." Blaine smiled without kindness. "Then take 5 coins. That basket is worth 10. "Not to me." Amos looked at the other fishermen, but no one spoke. After a long moment, he placed the basket beside Blaine's truck and accepted the 5 coins. Rhett moved forward. "That is not fair." Mina grabbed his arm. "Rhett, leave it." Blaine slowly turned. "Who are you?" "Rhett Hale." Blaine looked at his rough clothes. "You are the stranger who almost drowned during his first week." "I did not almost drown. You fell into the water." "That is not the same thing." A few fishermen laughed quietly, but Blaine did not. "You should learn your place," Blaine said. "My place is not the problem. Your price is." Mina pulled Rhett closer and spoke under her breath. "He can refuse to buy all our fish." Rhett looked at the worried faces around him. He wanted to keep arguing, but he saw Elias shake his head. Blaine stepped nearer. "You have been here for a few days, and now you think you can tell me how business works? I know when someone is being cheated." Blaine's smile disappeared. "No one is forced to sell to me, but you know they have nowhere else to go. That sounds like their problem. It becomes your problem when you use it to hurt them." The beach became quiet. Blaine pointed toward the road. "You can leave Seabrook whenever you like." "I am not leaving." "Then keep your mouth closed." Rhett did not look away. "I will speak when I see something wrong." Blaine leaned closer. "Then one day, that mouth may cost every fisherman here his money." He turned and walked back to his truck. Mina pulled Rhett away from the crowd. "What were you thinking?" she asked. "That he is a thief. I know what he is, but shouting at him will not change anything. So we should stand there and let him steal? We should make sure our families eat." Rhett looked at her. "You are afraid of him. I am afraid of what happens if he stops buying from us. He cannot control everyone. He has done it for years. Then it has lasted long enough." Mina shook her head. "You speak like a man who has never had to choose between pride and food." The words hit Rhett harder than she knew. He wanted to tell her that he could buy Blaine's truck, his business, and every boat on the beach. He could make one call and send enough money to help the whole village. But if he did that, his secret would be over. Mina would no longer see Rhett hail. She would see the billionaire's son. Elias called them back to the boat, and they went to work. The sea was calm, but no one spoke much. By afternoon, they returned with several baskets of fish. Blaine paid them less than half of what they expected. Elias counted the coins twice. "This cannot cover the fuel, food, and repairs," he said. Blaine shrugged. "Catch more tomorrow." "We worked for 8 hours. Then work 10. Mina stepped forward. "My mother needs medicine." Blaine looked at her. "That is not my business. You know she has been sick. I buy fish, Mina. I do not fix sick people." Rhett's hands became fists. Elias saw him and quickly stepped between them. "Take the money," Elias told Mina. She did, but her face was tight with anger. On the walk home, Rhett stayed beside her. "What is wrong with your mother? She has been coughing for weeks. Has she seen a doctor?" "The clinic gave her medicine, but it finished yesterday." "Then buy more." Mina stopped walking. "With what money?" Rhett looked down at the few coins in her hand. "How much does it cost?" "More than we earned today." "I will help." "With what?" she asked. "You work for food and sleep in a storage hut." Her words were not cruel. They were true. That made them hurt more. Rhett looked toward the road leading out of Seabrook. His real bank card was hidden inside the bottom of his bag. He had kept it only for a true emergency. One payment could solve the problem. But Mina would ask questions. "You do not have to solve everything," she said softly. "What happens if you cannot buy the medicine?" Mina looked toward her house. "We will find a way." That evening, Rhett heard Mina's mother coughing through the open window. Each cough sounded painful. Mina sat beside her, holding a cup of water. Rhett stood outside the storage hut, staring at his bag. He went inside, pulled it open, and reached under his clothes. His fingers touched the hidden card. He could walk to the next town, buy the medicine, and lie about where the money came from. But one lie would lead to another. Rhett pulled his hand away and closed the bag. "There must be another way," he whispered. The next morning, Rhett watched Blaine's truck leave the village full of fish. He noticed the name of a restaurant written on one wooden box. Bay Crown Restaurant. He turned to Elias. "Where is Bay Crown?" "In Westport." "How far?" "About 1 hour by road." "Does Blaine sell our fish there?" "Blaine sells to many restaurants." Rhett looked at Mina. "Why do we need him?" She sighed. "We already explained this." "No, we explained why we need his truck." "That is different." Elias frowned. "What are you thinking?" "We take some fish to the restaurants ourselves." Conway laughed. "With which truck?" "We can use the old village van. That thing has not moved in months." "I can fix it." Mina stared at him. "You can repair vehicles too?" Rhett remembered the years he spent collecting costly cars and learning how their engines worked. "I know enough." For the next 2 days, Rhett worked on the old van after returning from the sea. He cleaned the engine, changed a broken belt, and repaired a loose wire. Mina watched him from beside the road. "You have too many strange skills for a poor fisherman." "My father taught me some things." "What does he do?" Rhett kept his head under the open front of the van. "He works with businesses." "What kind?" "Many kinds." "That is not a real answer." "It is the only one I have." The engine suddenly came alive. Children nearby cheered. Elias rushed out of the house. "You fixed it." Rhett wiped oil from his hands. "It still sounds bad, but it can move." The next morning, Rhett, Mina, Elias, and Conway loaded fresh fish into the van. Elias drove while Rhett guided them to Westport. At Bay Crown Restaurant, the manager looked at the fish. "These are fresh," she said. "Caught this morning," Mina replied. "How much?" Rhett named a price higher than Blaine's but lower than what the restaurant normally paid. The manager looked surprised. "I will take all of it." Conway nearly dropped the coin bag when she paid them. "This is more than Blaine gives us in 3 days." Rhett smiled. "Then tomorrow we bring more." They visited 2 more restaurants before returning to Seabrook. By evening, every fisherman had heard what happened. The next day, more boats joined them. Rhett made a list of restaurants, Mina checked the fish, and Elias planned the trips. Within 1 week, the villagers were earning almost twice what Blaine had paid them. Mina bought her mother's medicine and returned home with food as well. That evening, she found Rhett repairing a broken basket outside his hut. "You never told anyone this was your idea," she said. "It was everyone's work. You could have stood in the market and taken all the praise." "I did not do it for praise." "Why did you do it?" Rhett looked toward her house, where her mother was finally resting without coughing. "Because people needed help." Mina sat beside him. "You work until your hands bleed, but you never ask anyone to thank you." "I do not need thanks." She watched him repair the basket. "You are not the man I thought you were when you first came here." Rhett looked at her. "Is that good or bad?" Mina smiled slowly. "I have not decided yet." But the way she looked at him gave Rhett his answer. For the next few days, life in Seabrook became calmer. The fishermen no longer waited for Blaine's truck. Each morning, they loaded the old van and sold their fish directly to restaurants in Westport. Rhett worked beside them without asking for special treatment. He pulled nets, carried baskets, repaired hooks, and helped Mina count the money at the end of each day. People in the village were beginning to trust him. That should have made Rhett happy. Instead, he felt more afraid. Every kind word from Mina made his secret heavier. Each time she smiled at him, he remembered that she did not know his real name. One afternoon, Rhett and Mina stood near the market, repairing a large net. Mina held one side while Rhett tied a loose rope. "You missed a hole," she said. "I was coming back to it." "You said that about the last hole." "I fixed the last one, after I pointed at it 3 times. Rhett looked at her. "You enjoy finding my mistakes. I enjoy stopping the fish from escaping. You care more about fish than my feelings. The fish feed us. Your feelings only complain." Rhett laughed. Before he could answer, the sound of a powerful engine filled the road. People in the market turned. A long black car entered the village and moved slowly past the wooden homes. It was too clean and too costly for Seabrook. Children ran beside it, trying to see through the dark windows. The car stopped near the market. Rhett's smile disappeared. He knew that car. The back door opened, and Delia Frost stepped out. She wore a white dress, high shoes, and dark glasses. A gold bag hung from her arm. Her hair was smooth, and her clothes did not have one mark of dust on them. She looked around the village with open disgust. "What is that smell?" she asked the driver. "Fish," the driver answered. Delia covered her nose. "Of course it is." Rhett slowly stood. Mina noticed his face. "Do you know her?" Rhett did not answer. Delia removed her glasses and looked straight at him. For 1 second, she did not move. Then she laughed. "Oh, Rhett." The sound was not kind. She walked toward him, staring at his faded shirt, dirty trousers, and bare feet. "I knew your father said you had lost your mind," she said. "I did not know it was this bad." Mina looked from Delia to Rhett. "You called him Rhett." "That is his name," Delia said. "Rhett Hale," Mina replied. Delia smiled at Rhett. "Is that what you told them?" Rhett stepped forward. "Why are you here?" "To take you home." "I am not going." Delia looked at the fishing net in his hands. "You cannot be serious." "I am." "You smell like dead fish." "I work with fish." "You sleep in a hut." "I know where I sleep." "You carry baskets for poor fishermen." "They are good people." Delia looked around the market. Several villagers were watching them. She lowered her voice. "Your father is furious. That is not new. He has people searching for you in 4 cities. He should stop. He thinks you have been harmed. I left by choice. He knows that now." Rhett's face tightened. "How did you find me?" "You used your bank card." Rhett remembered the small payment he made before arriving in Seabrook. He had bought old clothes and food at a roadside shop. He had thought the payment was too small to matter. Delia crossed her arms. "Did you really think no one would follow the card?" I stopped using it. Yes, after it showed us where you went. Mina was still standing near the net. She looked confused. What bank card? She asked. Rhett glanced at her. I will explain later. Delia turned toward Mina for the first time. And who are you? Mina Clark. She works with me, Rhett said quickly. Mina's eyes moved to him. Only work. Rhett paused. Delia noticed. A sharp smile appeared on her face. So this is why you stayed. Rhett stepped between them. Do not speak to her. I only asked her name. You did not come here to ask names. No. I came to stop you from destroying your life. My life belongs to me. Your life is tied to your family. I am tired of hearing that. Delia pointed at the black car. Get inside. No. Rhett, your father is not asking anymore. He never asks. The agreement with my family is in danger. I do not care about the agreement. You should. Thousands of jobs depend on it. Rhett shook his head. That is what he told you to say? It is the truth. No, it is fear. Delia's face became hard. You walked away from your home, your work, and your duty because you were upset about marriage. I walked away because none of you cared what I wanted. You are a Sinclair. You do not get to live like a normal man. Watch me. Delia stepped closer. You think these people care about you? Rhett looked around at the fishermen. They care more than most people in the city. They care because you repair their broken van and help them sell fish. They cared before I did that. Would they still care if they knew who you were? Rhett did not answer. Mina watched him closely. Delia saw the fear in his eyes and smiled. You have not told them. Delia, stop. You came here pretending to be poor. Rhett grabbed her arm and led her a few steps away. Keep your voice down. She pulled free. So it is true. I had reasons. You always have reasons. I needed time away. You needed attention. I wanted to know who would care about me without the money. Delia stared at him. And did you find someone? Rhett glanced toward Mina. That small look told Delia everything. She leaned closer. You are playing with that girl's life. I am not playing. Then tell her the truth. I will. When I am ready. Delia shook her head. You are not looking for love. You are testing people like they are objects. That is not what I am doing. It is exactly what you are doing. Rhett's voice dropped. You do not know me. I know you better than anyone here. You know my family name. You know my father's company. You know which restaurants I visited and what cars I drove. You never knew me. Delia looked hurt for only a moment. Then her anger returned. I agreed to marry you. You agreed to marry the future head of Sinclair Holdings. That is still you. No, that is what my father wants me to become. Delia looked toward the market. Mina was helping Elias fold the net, but she kept glancing at them. Delia spoke quietly. You can hide here for a week or a month, but this will end. Not today. Your father will send people. Then I will tell them the same thing. He may remove you from the company. Let him. He may cut you off. I came here without his money. You still think this is a game? Rhett shook his head. No. For the first time, I think my life is real. Delia laughed bitterly. You will come home when the pain begins. I have already felt pain here. She looked at his damaged hands. And you enjoy this? I enjoy knowing that when people smile at me, they are not looking at my bank account. Delia looked at Mina again. You really believe she loves you? Rhett's jaw tightened. I did not say she loved me. You did not need to. Delia picked up her bag. I am not leaving without speaking to her. You will leave her alone. You cannot order me. She walked past him before he could stop her. Mina stood beside the old van, placing empty baskets inside. Delia approached with a soft smile that looked friendly from far away. You are Mina, right? Delia asked. Yes. I am sorry about what happened back there. Rhett and I have known each other for a long time. How long? Since we were children. Mina looked toward Rhett. He was walking toward them. Delia continued quickly. He often disappears when he becomes angry. Disappears. He leaves, changes his clothes, tells people new stories. Rhett reached them. Delia. She ignored him. You should be careful with him. Mina's face became serious. Why? Because he is not who you think he is. Rhett stepped closer. That is enough. Delia looked at Mina. He lies when the truth does not give him what he wants. What has he lied about? Mina asked. Delia opened her mouth, but Rhett spoke first. She is angry because I refused to marry her. Mina stared at him. Marry her? It was planned by our families. You never told me. I did not think it mattered. Delia laughed. He does not think many things matter. Rhett looked at Mina. I do not love her. That is not what I asked. I know. Mina folded her arms. Who is she to you? Someone from my past. Delia's eyes narrowed. Someone from your past? Rhett did not look at her. Our families wanted us together. I refused. That is why she came. Mina looked at the black car, the driver, Delia's gold bag, and the fine clothes she wore. Then she looked at Rhett's torn shirt. You know people like her? I told you my father worked with businesses. You said many kinds of businesses. He does. Delia gave a cold smile. That is one way to say it. Rhett turned to her. Leave. You will regret this. Maybe. Your father will not forgive you. I am not asking him to. Delia looked at Mina one last time. Be careful. A man who hides one thing can hide many more. She put on her dark glasses and walked back to the car. The villagers watched as it drove away. Rhett and Mina stood beside the van in silence. He wanted to speak, but her face stopped him. Mina, she lifted one hand. Not yet. I can explain. Then explain why a woman from the city came here in a costly car and ordered you to return home. My family has money. How much money? Rhett looked away for 1 second. That was enough. Mina stepped back. You are doing it again. Doing what? Choosing which part of the truth I am allowed to hear. I am not trying to hurt you. People say that when they already know the truth will hurt. Mina, please. She picked up the last basket. I need to help my uncle. Can we talk later? She looked at him for a long moment. Yes. Hope entered his face. But Mina's next words removed it. We will talk when you decide whether you are ready to tell me the truth. She carried the basket away. Rhett stayed beside the van, watching her leave. Delia was gone, but the damage she brought with her remained. For the first time since he arrived in Seabrook, Rhett felt the village slipping away from him. And as Mina walked toward her house, she could not stop hearing Delia's warning. A man who hides one thing can hide many more. Those words stayed in Mina's mind all evening. She helped Elias clean the fishing tools, washed the empty baskets, and checked on her mother, but she could not stop thinking about Rhett. She remembered the black car. She remembered Delia's costly dress. Most of all, she remembered the fear on Rhett's face when Mina asked how much money his family had. Rhett did not come to the house for dinner that night. He sat outside the storage hut with his back against the wall. The village was quiet, but his thoughts were loud. He knew he should walk to Mina's house and tell her everything. He should tell her that his last name was Sinclair. He should tell her about the mansion, the company, and the marriage plan. But each time he stood, fear stopped him. What if she looked at him differently? What if every honest moment between them disappeared? The next morning, Rhett reached the shore before everyone else. He began loading nets into the boat, hoping hard work would calm him. A few minutes later, Elias came down the path. You missed dinner, Elias said. I was not hungry. You are always hungry after work. Rhett lifted another net. I needed time alone. Elias watched him. This is about Mina. Rhett stopped moving. She told you? She did not need to. Rhett looked toward the village. I never wanted to hurt her. That does not mean you did not. I know. Elias stepped closer. What are you hiding? Rhett's hands tightened around the net. It is not something dangerous. That is not an answer. My family is not poor. Elias waited, but Rhett said nothing more. How rich? Elias asked. Rich enough. Elias frowned. And the woman who came yesterday? Our fathers planned a marriage. Did you agree? No. Does Mina know that? She knows now. Does she know everything else? Rhett looked down. No. Elias shook his head. A fishing net with one hidden hole can lose every fish inside it. I am not a net. No, but trust works the same way. Rhett wanted to argue, but he knew Elias was right. Before he could answer, Mina came toward them carrying a basket. She did not smile at Rhett. Are we going out today? She asked Elias. Yes. She placed the basket in the boat and climbed in without looking at Rhett. The hours at sea felt longer than usual. Mina spoke only when the work needed it. Pull the left rope. Move the basket. Hold the net straight. Each answer from Rhett was short. All right. I have it. I am trying. When they returned to shore, Elias left them to carry the last net to the storage shed. Rhett lifted one side. Mina took the other. They walked in silence until Rhett stopped. We cannot keep doing this. Mina kept holding the net. Doing what? Acting like we are strangers. You were a stranger when you came here. I do not want to be one now. That depends on you. Rhett placed the net on the ground. Mina, look at me. She slowly faced him. I should have told you about Delia. Yes, I did not love her. That is not the only thing you hid. My father is a businessman. You already said that. He is a very successful businessman. How successful? Rhett opened his mouth, but the truth would not come out. Mina gave a sad laugh. You still cannot say it. I will. When? Soon. That word means nothing. I am trying to protect what we have. How can you protect something with lies? I did not lie about how I feel here. You lied about who you are. I gave you my real first name, and a false last name. Rhett looked away. Mina's voice became softer. Why did you come here? I wanted people to see me without seeing my family. And what did you see? Rhett looked at her again. I saw you. Mina became still. You should not say things like that when I am angry. It is true. I do not know what is true anymore. Rhett moved closer, but he did not touch her. When I wake up, I look for you. When we are at sea, I notice every time you smile. When you walk away, I want to follow you. I have never felt like this before. Mina stared at him. Do not use kind words to escape hard questions. I am not escaping. Then answer them. I am afraid. Of what? Of losing you. Her eyes softened, but her voice remained firm. You may lose me because you are afraid to speak. Rhett swallowed. I care about you, Mina. How much? More than I planned to. You planned this. No. I came here to find out if anyone could care about me without money. But then I met you, and everything changed. Mina looked hurt. So I was a test? No. You just said you came here to test people. I came here confused. I did not know you existed. And now I love you. The words came out before Rhett could stop them. The sound of the sea filled the silence between them. Mina's eyes widened. You love me? Yes. You do not even trust me with your full story. I trust you. No, you want me to trust you while you stay hidden. Rhett stepped closer. I am trying to become the man you think I am. I do not want you to become anyone. I only want to know the man standing in front of me. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then Mina picked up the edge of the net and sat on an old wooden box. My sister once loved a rich man, she said. Rhett slowly sat across from her. You never told me you had a sister. Her name was Cora. Where is she now? Mina looked toward the water. She left Seabrook 3 years ago. What happened? A man from the city came here. He wore simple clothes and said he worked as a driver. Cora believed him. Rhett felt cold. He was not a driver? No. His family owned the company. Mina's fingers held the net tightly. He told Cora he wanted a simple life. He said he was tired of rich people. He promised he would marry her. What did he do? One day, a woman came from the city. She said she was his wife. Rhett's face changed. Mina, I am not married. Let me finish. He nodded. Cora asked him to explain. He laughed. He said she should be thankful for the time he gave her. That is cruel. He returned to the city and told people Cora had chased him because of his money. She became the joke of the village. Rhett looked down. What happened to her? She left because she could not face anyone. She sends letters sometimes, but she has never come home. I am sorry. Mina wiped her eyes quickly. My mother became sick after Cora left. Uncle Elias blamed himself because he trusted that man. Rhett moved closer. I would never do that to you. That rich man said the same thing to Cora. I am not him. Then prove it. How? Tell me the truth before someone else tells me. Rhett's heart pounded. He knew the moment had come. My full name is Rhett Sinclair, he began. My father owns. A loud voice cut through the air. There he is. Rhett and Mina turned. Blaine marched toward them with Conway and several fishermen behind him. He held a small money bag in one hand. His face was full of anger. What is this? Rhett asked. Blaine threw the bag onto the sand. You should tell them. Tell them what? That money has been disappearing since you started controlling the sales. Mina stood. Rhett does not control the money. Blaine pointed at him. He makes the restaurant deals. He writes the prices. He keeps the sales list. Uncle Elias checks every coin, Mina said. Blaine pulled a folded paper from his pocket. Then explain this. He opened the paper and held it up. The restaurants paid more than the fishermen received. Conway frowned. What are you saying? I am saying Rhett took the difference. That is a lie, Mina said. Blaine looked at the crowd. Last week, 3 baskets were missing from the records. Yesterday, money disappeared again. Rhett stepped forward. Where did you get that paper? It came from one of the restaurants. Which one? You know which one. No. Say the name. Blaine smiled. Why are you nervous? I am not nervous. I want proof. The proof is in my hand. Rhett reached for the paper, but Blaine pulled it away. You will not destroy it. Mina stood between them. Rhett helped this village when you were cheating everyone. Blaine looked at her. And that made it easy for him. You all trusted him. I trust him, Mina said. Rhett looked at her in surprise. Blaine laughed. You do not even know who he is. Mina's face tightened, but she did not step away. I know he did not steal from us. How can you know that? Because I counted the money with him. Every day. Mina hesitated. Blaine pointed at her. There. Even she cannot be sure. The fishermen began speaking among themselves. Conway looked at Rhett. Did you take anything? No. Then why do the numbers not match? I do not know yet. Blaine folded the paper. Maybe the stranger came here because stealing from poor fishermen is easy. Rhett's anger rose, but he forced himself to stay calm. I came here with nothing, and now you know where every coin goes. Elias pushed through the crowd. What is happening? Blaine held out the paper. Your new worker has been stealing. Elias read it slowly. His face became serious. Rhett looked at the people who had started trusting him. Now doubt was growing in their eyes. Mina stepped beside him. He is innocent. Blaine shook his head. You are defending him because you are in love. The villagers became quiet. Mina's face turned red, but she did not move. Rhett looked at Elias. I did not take their money. Elias held up the paper. Then explain these numbers. I cannot explain them yet. Blaine smiled. That sounds like guilt. Rhett turned toward the fisherman. I know how this looks, but I will find out who changed the records. I will prove that I did not steal one coin from any of you. Conway folded his arms. How long will that take? Rhett looked at Blaine, who was still smiling. As long as it must. Then he faced Mina. I will clear my name. Mina held his eyes. I believe you. Rhett nodded slowly. He had been seconds away from telling her his full truth. Now he had to prove he was not a thief before anyone would believe another word he said. The fisherman did not take him out to sea the next morning. Elias stood beside the boats with the folded paper in his hand while Conway and the others watched in silence. Rhett walked toward them. "Which boat am I joining?" Elias looked at him sadly. "None today." Rhett stopped. "You believe Blaine?" "I did not say that. You are keeping me on land. Until we know the truth." Mina stepped between them. "Uncle, he should come with us." "This is not only about what you believe," Elias said. "Every man here has a family to feed." Rhett looked at Conway. "You know I did not steal." Conway rubbed his beard. "I know you helped us. I also know the records are wrong. Blaine brought those records, and you have not proved they are false." Rhett turned to Elias. "Give me 1 day." "To do what?" "To visit every restaurant. I will compare their records with ours." Blaine walked toward them from the road. "You should save your strength," he said. "The truth is already clear." Rhett faced him. "You changed that paper." Blaine smiled. "Can you prove it?" "Not yet." "Then stop calling me a liar." Mina pointed at him. "You have cheated this village for years. I bought fish at the price I wanted. You knew they had no choice." Blaine looked at her coldly. "You should be careful, Mina. Your family has already trusted one city man too much." Rhett moved forward so quickly that Elias grabbed his arm. "Do not speak about her sister," Rhett warned. Blaine took 1 step back. "Why? Does the truth hurt?" "You do not know the truth. I know she is repeating the same mistake." Mina's face became hard. "Leave." Blaine laughed and turned away. Rhett watched him go. "He is hiding something." Elias released Rhett's arm. "Then find it before this village breaks apart." Rhett spent the day traveling to Westport in the old van. Mina went with him even though Elias told her to stay. At Bay Crown Restaurant, the manager brought out her payment book. "We paid the same price written here," she said. Rhett compared it with the village list. "These numbers match." Mina leaned closer. "Then Blaine's paper is false." "Maybe," Rhett said. "We need the other restaurants." At the second restaurant, the records also matched. At the third, the owner was missing, and the worker refused to show them anything. Rhett placed both hands on the counter. "Someone is accusing me of stealing." "That is not my problem," the worker said. "You bought our fish. I only work here." "Then call the owner." "I cannot." Mina stepped beside Rhett. "Please. Families may lose their money because of this." The worker looked nervous. "I was told not to speak about the payments." Rhett's eyes narrowed. "Who told you?" Before the worker could answer, thunder shook the windows. Everyone turned toward the sky. Dark clouds were moving over the sea. Mina looked outside. "We need to go home." The wind became stronger before they reached Seabrook. When the old van entered the village, people were already running toward the shore. A woman screamed, "3 boats are still out there." Elias stood near the water, staring into the storm. "Conway's boat, Amos's boat, and the Reed brothers," he said. Mina grabbed his arm. "Why did they not return?" "Their engines may have failed." A huge wave struck the shore. Rhett looked at the boats tied near the beach. "We need to go after them." Elias shook his head. "No boat can move safely in that water. They will die if we do nothing. And more people may die if we go." Rhett pointed toward the strongest boat. "That one can handle the waves." "You do not know that." "I do." Elias stared at him. "How?" Rhett had no time to think of a lie. "I have sailed in storms before." Mina looked at him. "You told me you were learning." "I was learning to fish. I already knew how to control a boat." Elias stepped closer. "What kind of boats?" "Large ones." "How large?" "Large enough." Mina grabbed Rhett's shirt. "Do not hide things now. Can you bring them back?" Rhett looked at the wild sea. "I can try." "That is not an answer. No one can promise they will return from a storm like this." Mina's eyes filled with fear. "Then you are not going." "Conway is out there." So are you if you enter that water. Rhett held her shoulders. Mina, listen to me. Those men have wives, children, and mothers waiting here. And what about the people waiting for you? Rhett became still. Mina's voice broke. What about me? The wind pushed rain across their faces. Rhett touched her cheek. I will come back. You just said you cannot promise. I am promising you now. Elias brought life jackets and ropes. I am going with you. Rhett shook his head. I need you on shore. Get lanterns. Tie a long rescue rope to the strongest tree. I know the sea better than you, but I know how to move through waves like these. Elias stared at him, knowing another secret had just appeared. Mina handed Rhett a life jacket. If you do not return, I will never forgive you. Rhett forced a small smile. Then I have another reason to return. He climbed into the boat with two young fishermen named Nolan and Seth. The engine fought against the wind, but Rhett guided the boat through the first line of waves. Turn back, Seth shouted as water crashed over them. Hold the rope, Rhett answered. I cannot see anything. Watch the lantern on shore. That tells us where home is. They moved farther into the storm. A flash of lightning showed a broken boat ahead. There, Nolan shouted. Amos was holding onto the side while another fisherman waved both arms. Rhett brought the rescue boat close. Jump when I tell you. Amos shook his head. My brother is hurt. Rhett tied a rope around his waist. Keep this boat steady. He jumped into the water and reached the broken boat. Amos's brother lay on the floor with blood on his forehead. Rhett lifted him. Can you hear me? The man opened his eyes. My leg. We will deal with it on shore. Another wave hit. The broken boat leaned sharply. Amos shouted, It is going down. Rhett pushed the injured man toward Nolan. Take him. One by one, they moved the men into the rescue boat. Then Rhett saw another lantern far away. That may be Conway, he said. Seth looked terrified. We already have too many people. We cannot leave him. The rescue boat moved again. They found Conway and the Reed brothers holding onto an overturned boat. Conway was weak, and one brother had lost his life jacket. Rhett threw them ropes. Hold tight. Conway grabbed one. I thought you were a thief. You can apologize later. I may not have a later. You will if you pull. With Nolan and Seth helping, they dragged the men into the boat. The engine began making a sharp sound. Nolan looked at Rhett. It is failing. Rhett checked the fuel line. Water entered the engine. Can you fix it? Not here. The boat began drifting. On the shore, Mina saw their lantern stop moving. What is happening? She cried. Elias pulled the rescue rope around the tree. They may have lost power. We have to help them. No one else is going into that water. Mina grabbed the rope. Then we pull them home. They are too far away. Not if Rhett reaches the rope line. Out at sea, Rhett tied two ropes together. We will use the sail. Seth stared at him. This boat has no sail. We make one. He pulled a strong cover from the floor and tied it to two poles. Conway watched him. Where did you learn this? Not now. The wind caught the cover. The boat turned slowly toward the shore. Rhett kept one hand on the rope and the other on the wheel. Everyone leaned left. The men obeyed. A wave lifted them high, then dropped them hard. The boat cracked, but it stayed together. Minutes later, Nolan saw the rescue rope floating near them. There! Rhett caught it and tied it to the front. Pull! He shouted toward the shore. Dozens of villagers grabbed the rope. Mina stood in front, pulling until her hands bled. Slowly, the boat moved through the waves. When it finally reached shallow water, people rushed forward. Families cried and hugged the rescued men. Mina ran straight to Rhett. She hit his chest once. You promised. I returned. She hit him again, but this time her hands stayed against him. You scared me. I was scared too. You did not look scared. I was trying not to show it. She hugged him tightly. Rhett closed his arms around her. For one moment, the false records, blame, and every hidden truth disappeared. Then a man in a dark suit stepped onto the beach. He carried a leather bag and looked badly out of place among the wet fishermen. "Rhett Sinclair," he shouted. The village became quiet. Mina slowly pulled away. The man hurried toward Rhett. "My name is Graham Cole. I work for your father." Rhett's face lost all color. "What happened?" "Walter Sinclair became very ill this morning. He collapsed during a meeting." "Is he alive?" "Yes, but the doctors are worried. You must return to the city tonight." Mina stared at Rhett. "Sinclair." Rhett looked at her, but Graham grabbed his arm. "The car is waiting. We have no time. I need 5 minutes." "Rhett." 5 minutes. He ran toward the storage hut, found a piece of paper, and began writing with shaking hands. "Mina, my full name is Rhett Sinclair. My father owns Sinclair Holdings. I came here because I wanted to know if anyone could love me without my money. I should have told you sooner. Everything I feel for you is real. I am leaving because my father may die. I will return and explain everything." Rhett folded the letter and wrote Mina's name on it. He placed it on the small table inside the hut. Outside, Graham shouted again. Rhett looked toward Mina's house, but she was no longer by the shore. He wanted to find her, but Graham hurried him toward the waiting car. Minutes later, Blaine came from behind the storage hut. He had heard enough to understand what was happening. He entered the hut and saw the letter. He opened it, read every word, and smiled. "So the poor fisherman is a billionaire." Blaine tore the letter into small pieces and dropped them into a cooking fire outside the hut. By morning, the storm had passed. Mina walked toward Rhett's hut, ready to demand the full truth. She opened the door. His bag was gone. His clothes were gone. The hut was empty. She searched the table, the mat, and the floor, but Rhett had left no message. Mina stood alone in the doorway as the pain inside her grew. Rhett had disappeared without saying goodbye. Mina stood inside the empty hut for a long time. She looked under the thin mat, inside the old wooden box, and behind the fishing nets. There was no letter. There was no note. There was not even one small word to explain why he had left. Elias found her standing beside the table. "He is gone?" he asked. Mina nodded. "Did he leave a message?" "No." Elias looked around the hut. Maybe he had no time. He had enough time to pack his bag. "Mina. He told me he loved me." Her voice shook, but she refused to cry. "He said he was afraid of losing me." Then the first time the truth came close, he ran. Elias stepped toward her. "You heard the man from the city. His father is sick." "I heard that. I also heard his real name. Rhett Sinclair." Mina looked at him. "You know that name?" Elias slowly nodded. "Sinclair Holdings is one of the biggest companies in the country." "How big?" "Very big." Mina looked at the small hut again. So all this was a lie. Maybe not all of it. He slept here while he had a mansion somewhere. He carried fish while he had workers who could carry anything for him. He watched us worry about medicine while he had more money than this whole village. He helped us earn our own money. He also watched me trust him. Mina walked out of the hut before Elias could answer. By noon, everyone in Seabrook knew that Rhett Hale did not exist. Some villagers were angry. Others were shocked. Conway said very little. He remembered how Rhett had entered the storm and brought him home. Blaine moved from group to group, speaking loudly. "I warned all of you," he said. "I told you the stranger was dangerous." Conway glared at him. "You accused him of stealing, and now we know he lied. That does not prove he stole." Blaine smiled. "It proves he can hide anything." Mina was helping her mother inside the house when several cars entered the village. They were not like Delia's quiet black car. These cars carried cameras, lights, and people who shouted before the doors even opened. Reporters rushed toward the shore. "Where is Rhett Sinclair? Who knew he was here? Did he give the village money? Was he hiding from the law?" A woman with a microphone saw Mina and hurried toward her. "Are you Mina Clark?" Mina stepped back. "Who are you?" "Paula Vance from City News." Is it true you were in a secret relationship with billionaire heir Rhett Sinclair? Mina's face became hot. I do not know what you are talking about. A camera pointed at her. Did Rhett promise to marry you? Move that camera away. Did you know who he was? No. So he lied to you? Elias pushed between them. She said move. The reporter did not stop. Was Rhett using this village as part of a private game? Mina stared at the camera. A game. Another reporter held up a phone. On the screen was a picture of Rhett wearing a costly dark suit. He stood beside Walter Sinclair inside a huge hall. Mina almost did not know him. His hair was clean. His shoes shone. A gold watch sat on his wrist. He looked like a man who had never slept in a fishing hut. That is Rhett Sinclair, the reporter said. The only son of Walter Sinclair. Their family company is worth billions. Mina could not speak. The reporter moved the phone closer. Did he tell you any of that? Mina remembered sitting beside him while they repaired a net. She remembered asking what his father did. Many kinds of businesses, Rhett had said. She remembered telling him about Cora. She remembered warning him that she could forgive poverty but never lies. No, Mina whispered. He did not tell me. The cameras moved closer. Do you feel used? Did he offer you money? Are you planning to sue him? Mina turned and ran into the house. Elias closed the door behind her and blocked the reporters from entering. Mina leaned against the wall, breathing hard. Her mother reached for her hand. My child. He knew, Mina said. He knew what happened to Cora, and he still kept lying. Maybe he was afraid. He had nothing to fear from me. He may have feared losing what you felt for him. Mina wiped her face. Then he should have trusted me. In the city, Rhett sat beside Walter's hospital bed. Walter looked weak, but he was awake. A doctor had warned him to rest, yet anger still filled his voice. You brought shame to this family, Walter said. Rhett stood near the window. I came because you were sick, and now the whole country knows my son was hiding in a fishing village. I was not hiding from the law. You were pretending to be poor. I wanted a life that was mine. Walter pointed toward the television. A news report showed Seabrook. Reporters stood outside Mina's home. The words on the screen called Mina the mystery village woman who had captured the billionaire heir. Rhett's face changed. Why are they at her house? Walter gave a tired laugh. Because you made her part of this. I never told anyone about her. You did not have to. People saw you together. Rhett grabbed his phone and called Mina. She did not answer. He called again. Nothing. The hospital door opened, and Delia entered. She wore a calm expression, but Rhett saw no concern in her eyes. You should not be here, he said. I came to see Walter. You brought the reporters to Seabrook. Delia looked offended. I did no such thing. You were the only person who knew where I was. Your father's lawyer knew. Graham would not speak to reporters. Walter looked at Delia. What is he talking about? Delia placed her bag on a chair. The story was going to come out. Rhett stepped closer. What did you tell them? Only that you had been confused. Confused? That you left after a family argument and became involved with a village girl. Her name is Mina. Walter's eyes narrowed. You are still defending her? She did nothing wrong. Delia spoke softly. That is not what people believe. She opened her phone and showed him several stories. One claimed Mina had discovered Rhett's identity and planned to trap him. Another said her family had used him to gain money. Rhett stared at the screen. These are lies. Delia shrugged. They are questions. No, they are attacks. Walter looked at him. The board is meeting tomorrow. I do not care about the board. You should. Several partners are worried about your actions. My actions saved 6 men during a storm. The news is not talking about that. Then they should. Walter tried to sit up. You will make a public statement. You will say the village visit was caused by stress. You will also say there was no serious relationship with that woman. Rhett became still. What? You will protect the company. And destroy Mina? Walter's face hardened. She is already a problem. She is not a problem. She is a poor fisherman's niece who now has every reporter in the country standing outside her door. Because Delia sent them. Delia shook her head. You cannot prove that. Rhett looked at her. I will. Walter struck the bed with his hand. Enough. You will attend the board meeting, stand beside Delia, and end this foolish story. Rhett's voice dropped. I will not stand beside her. You will if you want to remain my son. The room became silent. Rhett looked at his father. Do you hear yourself? I am protecting everything I built. And I am trying to protect someone who trusted me. Walter pointed at the television. She did not trust you. She trusted the poor man you pretended to be. Rhett flinched because the words were true. He left the hospital before his anger became worse. By evening, he was driving back towards Seabrook with Graham beside him. He had changed out of his suit and put on a plain shirt, but the car still reminded everyone who he was. When they entered the village, reporters surrounded them. Rhett, did Mina know your identity? Did she ask you for money? Are you returning to pay her? Rhett pushed through them. Move. He reached Mina's house and knocked. Elias opened the door. You should leave. I need to speak to her. She does not want to see you. I wrote her a letter. Elias frowned. What letter? I left it in the hut before I left. There was no letter. Rhett froze. I placed it on the table. Mina searched the whole hut. Rhett looked toward the road. Blaine stood far away, watching them. Rhett understood that something was wrong. Mina needs to hear this from me. A voice came from inside. Let him speak. Mina stepped into the doorway. Her eyes were tired, but her face was firm. Rhett looked at her. My full name is Rhett Sinclair. I know. My father became ill. I had to leave quickly. You could have told me before that night. I tried. You stopped every time. I was afraid. You had a mansion, guards, cars, and billions. What were you afraid of? You looking at me the way you are looking at me now. Mina shook her head. I am looking at you this way because you lied. My feelings were real. How do I know? Because I came back. You came back after the whole world found out. I left a letter. I never saw it. I believe someone took it. Mina gave a sad laugh. There is always another reason. Rhett stepped closer. I love you. She stepped back. Do not say that. It is true. You watched me tell you what happened to my sister. You saw how much lies hurt my family. Then you still chose to hide. I was going to tell you, but you did not. Reporters shouted from the road, but neither of them looked away. Rhett's voice became weak. What can I do? You cannot fix this with money. I am not offering money. You cannot fix it with one speech either. Then tell me what you need. I need to know that I was not some lesson for a rich man who was bored with his life. You were never that. Mina's eyes filled with tears. But that is how you made me feel. She went inside and closed the door. Rhett stood there as the reporters called his name. Graham approached with his phone. Your father wants you back in the city. The board meeting begins tomorrow morning. Rhett looked at Mina's closed door. What happens if I do not go? The board may remove you from the company. Your father may lose control. Thousands of workers could be affected. And if I go? They want you to deny the relationship and stand beside Delia. Rhett looked at the cameras, the village, and the small house where Mina was crying because of him. For the first time, the choice was clear. He could protect the company his father built. Or he could protect the woman whose trust he had broken. Rhett could protect the company his father built, or he could protect the woman whose trust he had broken. He looked at Mina's closed door for several seconds before turning to Graham. Take me to the board meeting. Graham looked surprised. You are going to deny the relationship? No. Then what are you going to say? The truth. Graham lowered his voice. Your father may remove you from the company. He already threatened to stop calling me his son. He was angry. So am I. Rhett looked back at Mina's house. I lied because I was afraid of losing her. I will not tell another lie because I am afraid of losing money. He walked through the crowd of reporters and entered the car. Questions followed him from every side, but he did not answer them. During the long drive to the city, Rhett kept seeing Mina's face. She had not shouted at him. She had not asked for money. She had only wanted the truth, and he had given it too late. Graham sat beside him. You should prepare yourself. For what? Your father has called every important member of the board. Delia's father will also be there. Good, good. I want them all to hear me. You may destroy the agreement between the families. That agreement was built on a marriage I never wanted. It is worth billions. Rhett looked through the window. Mina trusted me when she thought I had nothing. My father wants me to betray her because he is afraid of losing billions. This is not only about money. Many workers depend on both companies. Then why is my marriage needed to protect their jobs? Graham did not answer. Rhett turned toward him. That is the question no one wants to answer. The next morning, Rhett entered the tall Sinclair building wearing a dark suit. Workers stopped and watched him pass. Some whispered about the village. Others quickly looked away. The boardroom was already full. Walter sat at the head of the long table. He had left the hospital against his doctor's advice. Delia sat beside him, while her father, Marcus Frost, sat across from them. Walter pointed at the empty chair near Delia. Sit. Rhett remained standing. I would rather stand. Walter's eyes became hard. This is not the time for games. I agree. Marcus Frost leaned back in his chair. The news has already damaged our agreement. We need a clear statement today. Delia looked at Rhett. All you have to say is that the village girl misunderstood the relationship. Rhett stared at her. Her name is Mina. Delia sighed. Fine. Mina misunderstood. She understood what I told her. I was the one who hid the truth. Walter struck the table. You will not admit that in public. I already admitted it to her. This meeting is not about your feelings. That is why we are here. None of you ever cared about my feelings. Marcus frowned. Your father is trying to protect a company. No, he is trying to control my life. Walter stood. I gave you everything. You gave me money, houses, cars, and a future that you planned without asking me. I gave you security. You gave me a cage with soft chairs. The board members looked at one another. Walter pointed at Rhett. You left this company and lived like a poor fisherman. You embarrassed our name. I worked for my food. I helped honest people. I saved lives during a storm. Which part embarrassed you? The lying. Rhett gave a bitter laugh. You are angry because I lied about being poor, but you want me to lie about Mina now. Walter became quiet. Rhett looked around the table. I will not say Mina chased me for money. She did not know who I was. She gave me food when I had nothing. Her family gave me work and a place to sleep. Delia folded her arms. You were never truly poor. They believed I was, and they still treated me with respect. Marcus leaned forward. This is becoming foolish. Are you ending a major business deal because of one village woman? No, Rhett answered. I am ending it because it was wrong from the start. Walter's face changed. You will not end anything. I refuse to marry Delia. Delia stared at him. Say that again. Rhett looked directly at her. I will not marry you. You are making this choice because of Mina? I am making it because I do not love you. Delia stood. You humiliated me. Our parents humiliated both of us when they treated us like parts of a business deal. I agreed to the marriage because you wanted the Sinclair name. Delia's face became red. That is not true. Would you have agreed if I had really been a poor fisherman? She opened her mouth, but no answer came. Rhett nodded. That is what I thought. Marcus pushed his chair back. If the marriage ends, the agreement ends. Then let it end. Walter grabbed the edge of the table. You do not have the power to make that choice. I have the power to refuse marriage. You are risking thousands of jobs. Rhett looked at the company report spread across the table. Then we protect those jobs without selling my life. One board member cleared his throat. The agreement was meant to lower costs. Rhett picked up one of the reports. By closing 3 factories and removing hundreds of workers. Walter frowned. Those factories are losing money because their machines are old. We cannot repair everything. We can. You chose not to. Walter stared at him. You know nothing about running this company. I know more than you think. Rhett opened the report. Factory 7 has asked for repairs for 2 years. Factory 9 has workers doing 12-hour shifts because managers refuse to hire enough people. Some workers have not received the full health support promised in their contracts. The room became quiet. Walter looked around the table. Who showed him those files? No one, Rhett said. I read them before I left. Walter's voice lowered. And you said nothing. You never listened. I listened when you had useful ideas. You listened when my ideas matched yours. Walter sat down slowly. What do you want? I want the company to stop treating workers like numbers. This is business. They are people. You cannot make choices with your heart. Then maybe that is why you stopped seeing the damage. Walter stared at his son. Rhett placed both hands on the table. I will stay and help this company, but only under clear rules. You are giving me rules? Yes. Several members of the board leaned closer. Rhett continued. No worker will lose a job because I refused an unwanted marriage. We will repair the old factories. We will review every unpaid benefit. We will remove managers who cheat workers or place them in danger. Walter shook his head. That will cost a great deal of money. We have the money. We have investors. Then explain the truth to them. Marcus laughed. You sound like a fisherman. Rhett looked at him. Those fishermen taught me something this room forgot. When one part of a net breaks, everyone helps repair it. They do not throw one person into the sea to save themselves. Marcus closed his file. I will not remain here and be insulted. You are free to leave. Marcus looked at Walter. Control your son. Walter did not answer. Marcus and Delia walked toward the door. Before leaving, Delia turned to Rhett. Mina will never forgive you. Rhett's face showed pain, but his voice stayed calm. She may not. Then you will lose everything for nothing. No, I will lose a false marriage and a cruel agreement. That is not nothing. Delia left with her father. Walter waited until the door closed. Do you understand what you have done? Yes. You ended years of work. I ended years of people planning my life. Walter looked tired. You think that girl will welcome you now? No. Then why are you doing this? Because doing the right thing should not depend on what I receive. Walter studied him for a long moment. You have changed. I had to. Was I such a terrible father? Rhett's anger became quieter. You loved me in the way you understood. But you never let me choose who I wanted to become. I wanted you to be strong. You taught me that strength meant control. Walter looked down at his hands. And what do you think it means now? Doing what is right, even when people can walk away from you. Walter's eyes lifted toward him. Are you ready to walk away from this company? If it keeps hurting people, yes. And from me. Rhett's voice became soft. I do not want to lose my father, but I will not lose myself to keep you. The words struck Walter deeply. For the first time, he seemed to understand that Rhett was not only angry. He was ready to leave. Walter looked toward the board members. Give us the room. When everyone had gone, Walter leaned back in his chair. You will take control of the factory division for 6 months. Rhett stared at him. Why? You said you can fix it. I can try. Trying will not be enough. It never is for you. Walter almost smiled, but the smile disappeared quickly. You will have full power over the division. If you fail, the board will remove you. And the workers? No factories will close during the 6 months. Rhett held out his hand. Put that in writing. Walter looked at the hand. You do not trust me? I learned that promises need proof. Walter slowly shook his son's hand. Within days, Rhett began visiting the factories. He spoke to workers without cameras following him. He inspected unsafe machines and ordered repairs. He removed one manager who had taken money meant for worker safety. He also returned unpaid health support to dozens of families. The changes cost the company money, but the factories began working better. Workers who had once feared speaking now brought their problems directly to Rhett. One afternoon, Graham entered Rhett's office carrying a folder. The Seabrook reporters have left. Rhett looked up quickly. And Mina? She has not spoken to the news. Has she asked for anything? No. Rhett looked toward the window. I want her family protected. We can send guards. No. That will make the village feel watched. We could buy them a new house. No. A better fishing boat? No. Graham placed the folder down. You could solve many of their problems. That is exactly what Mina warned me about. What do you mean? She said I could not fix this with money. Graham sat across from him. What will you do? Rhett looked at the phone on his desk. He had written Mina's number on a small piece of paper. Many times he had almost called, but she had asked for space. I will not force her to speak to me. You may lose her. I may have already lost her. Then why wait? Because love is not another company I can take control of. Rhett placed the phone inside a drawer. I lied to enter her life. I will not use money to remain in it. That evening, he stood alone in his large city home. The rooms were bigger than the whole house Mina shared with her family. Yet the place felt empty. He could have sent gifts, cars, or enough money to change Seabrook forever. Instead, Rhett chose to give Mina the one thing he had never given her before, a choice that truly belonged to her. 3 weeks passed before Rhett returned to Seabrook. He did not arrive in a black car. No guards came with him, and there were no reporters waiting behind him. He came in the old village van, wearing the same faded shirt and rough trousers he had used when he worked as a fisherman. Conway was repairing a boat near the shore when he saw him. He slowly stood. You came back. Rhett climbed out of the van. I said I would. You also said you were poor. I know. Conway looked behind the van. No bags of money? No. No new boats. No. No rich men in dark suits? Only me. Conway gave a small laugh. You still look too clean. Rhett picked up a dirty rope from the sand. That can be fixed. Conway's smile disappeared. Does Mina know you are here? No. Are you afraid to face her? Yes. Conway looked surprised by the honest answer. At least you admit it now. Rhett nodded. I should have admitted many things sooner. Elias walked down the beach carrying a broken paddle. He stopped when he saw Rhett. What are you doing here? I came to work. You have a company in the city. I can work there and still help here. We do not need your pity. I did not bring pity. What did you bring? Rhett lifted his empty hands. Time. Elias stared at him. And what do you expect in return? Nothing. Mina is not a prize you can earn by repairing a few boats. I know. You cannot stay in the hut. I understand. You cannot enter our house unless she asks you. I understand. Elias pointed at the broken fishing boat beside Conway. That boat has a cracked side. Rhett looked at it. I can repair it. You will work with Conway. You will eat what the other workers eat. You will receive the same pay. That is fair. Elias stepped closer. If you hurt Mina again, there will be no second talk. Rhett met his eyes. I did not come to hurt her. You did not plan to hurt her the first time. Rhett had no answer. Mina heard Rhett's voice from the path above the beach. She stopped behind a wooden fence and watched him kneel beside the cracked boat. He did not see her. Conway handed him a tool. You remember how to use this? Rhett examined it. I think so. You think so? I remember you shouting at me while I used it. I shouted because you nearly broke the boat. That helped me remember. Conway sat beside him. Why did you really come back? I told you. To work. You have workers in the city. I am not asking them to do this. You could buy every boat here. I could. Then why not? Because buying things is easy for me. Conway watched him quietly. Rhett continued. Staying when people are angry is harder. Listening is harder. Waiting is harder. And you think hard work will make Mina love you again? No. Rhett placed a wooden board against the crack. I hope it will show her that I am not running away. Mina heard every word. She wanted to walk down and tell him that one honest answer could not remove months of lies. Instead, she turned and went home. For the next several days, Rhett worked from morning until night. He repaired 2 boats, cleaned old nets, and helped carry fish to the market. He slept in a small room above a closed shop. The room had no soft bed, no cool air, and no workers waiting outside the door. He could have found a better place, but he did not. One afternoon, Rhett was helping Elias count the money from the restaurant sales when he noticed something strange. 3 payments were missing from the record book. Rhett looked up. Who made these trips? Elias checked the dates. Conway took 1 load. Amos took the others. Did the restaurants pay? They said they did. Then where is the money? Elias's face became serious. That is the same thing Blaine accused you of doing. Rhett opened another book. Someone was changing the records before I arrived. How can you know? The numbers are written in 2 different kinds of ink. Look here. He placed both books beside each other. The amount was first written correctly. Then someone changed it. Elias leaned closer. Who had these books? Blaine had one of them when he accused me. Elias frowned. You think he changed the numbers? I think he did more than that. Rhett went to the 3rd restaurant where the worker had once refused to speak. This time he arrived alone. The worker became nervous when Rhett entered. I told you before. I know nothing. Rhett placed a copy of the village record on the counter. You were told not to speak about the payments. I was confused. No, you were afraid. I have work to do. Rhett did not move. Blaine paid you. The worker looked toward the kitchen. Keep your voice down. So it is true. I did not say that. You did not need to. The worker's hands began shaking. Blaine said nobody would be harmed. Families lost money. He said he only wanted the fisherman to return to him. How did he do it? The worker shook his head. I cannot talk. Rhett leaned closer. I was blamed for stealing. Mina defended me when the whole village turned against me. Blaine used you to hurt all of them. I have a family too. So do the fishermen. The worker looked down. If Blaine finds out I spoke, I will lose my job. I will not allow him to hurt you. The worker gave a bitter laugh. You think money makes you powerful. No, evidence does. Rhett placed his phone on the counter. Tell me the truth, and I will make sure your words reach the police. The worker looked at the phone for a long moment. Then he spoke. Blaine offered the owner lower prices if we gave him copies of every payment. He changed some of the papers and kept part of the money. Where did the stolen money go? He used a second account. Do you have proof? The worker slowly opened a drawer and removed several papers. I kept these because I knew he might blame me one day. Rhett read them carefully. They showed payments from several restaurants. They also showed money being sent to an account owned by Blaine. This is enough, Rhett said. No, there is more. The worker gave him messages Blaine had sent. One message ordered him to hide the real payment records. Another said Rhett must look like a thief before the village trusted him too much. Rhett's jaw tightened. He planned everything. That evening, Rhett returned to Seabrook with a police officer and 2 investigators. The villagers gathered near the market as the officers walked toward Blaine's store. Blaine stepped outside. What is this? One officer held up the papers. We have questions about stolen money and false records. Blaine looked at Rhett. You did this. No, Rhett said. You did. These papers are lies. The restaurant worker gave a statement. Blaine's face changed. He is trying to save himself. We also found the second account, the officer said. Blaine stepped backward. You cannot arrest me because fishermen are angry. This is not about anger. The officer placed handcuffs on him. It is about proof. Mina stood beside Elias, watching. Blaine pointed at Rhett as the police led him away. You think they will love you now? Rhett said nothing. Blaine shouted again. You are still a liar. Rhett's face showed pain, but he did not answer. After the police car left, Conway raised his voice. Rhett cleared his name. A few fishermen began clapping, but Rhett lifted his hand. This is not about me. Elias looked at him. Then what is it about? Blaine controlled the village because each fisherman stood alone. That should never happen again. What do you suggest? Amos asked. You create your own fishing group. Conway frowned. A group. Every fisherman becomes part of it. You choose your own leaders. You share the van, make deals together, and keep records that everyone can see. One man asked, Will Sinclair Holdings own it? No. Will you own part of it? No. Then what do you gain? Nothing. Conway shook his head. A billionaire who wants nothing. That is difficult to believe. Rhett nodded. I understand. Elias looked at the fishermen. We should vote. The men and women spoke for nearly an hour. By sunset, they agreed to form the Seabrook Fishing Group. Elias was chosen to lead it, while Mina and Conway would manage the records. Rhett offered to help them prepare the first papers, but he refused to place his name on the group. This belongs to Seabrook, he said. Later that evening, he sat alone beside the repaired boats. His hands were dirty, and a fresh cut ran across one finger. Mina walked toward him. Rhett stood quickly. I can leave. I did not ask you to. He stayed where he was. Mina looked at the repaired boats. You fixed all of these? Conway helped. You found the proof against Blaine. The restaurant worker kept it. You could have sent lawyers. Yes. You could have bought the village. Yes. But you did not. Rhett looked down. I have spent my whole life solving problems with money. It made me believe every problem had a price. And now I know trust does not. Mina looked at his cut hand. Why are you still here? Because I owe this village the truth. Only the village? Rhett met her eyes. No. Mina waited. Rhett took a slow breath. I still love you, but I did not return to make you say it back. Her face softened a little. Then why return? To become someone who does not run when the truth becomes hard. Mina looked toward the sea. I am still angry. You have every right to be. I still do not know if I can trust you. I understand. You may wait and receive nothing. I know. She turned to him. You are not going to offer me a house or a car? No. Not even a new boat? Rhett smiled slightly. Elias would throw me into the sea. Mina almost smiled, but she stopped herself. You remember him well. I remember everything. They stood beside the shore as the sky became dark. Mina was not ready to forgive him. Rhett knew that, but for the first time since his secret had been exposed, she did not walk away. She finally understood that he had not returned to buy her love. He had returned to earn her trust. For the next few weeks, Rhett kept working beside the fishermen without asking Mina for an answer. He repaired nets, helped load the van, and joined Elias on the sea before sunrise. Some days Mina spoke to him. Other days she kept her distance. Rhett never complained. One evening, the two of them sat beside the shore after the last boat had returned. The sky was becoming dark, and the other fishermen had already gone home. Mina held the village record book on her lap. You made another mistake, she said. Rhett looked at the page. Where? You wrote 12 baskets, but Conway brought 11. Maybe Conway cannot count. I heard that, Conway shouted from far down the beach. Rhett smiled. Mina tried not to smile, but she did. For a moment, they were like they had been before the truth came out. Then Mina closed the book, and the smile left her face. Rhett. Yes. I need to ask you something. He sat straighter. Ask. When you first came here, did you plan to make someone fall in love with you? No. You said you came to find true love. I came because I wanted to know if anyone could care about me without my money. But I did not choose you as part of some plan. Mina watched his face. So what happened? I saw you run into the water to help Theo. You did not know me, but you still helped. Then you gave me work, food, and a place to sleep. My uncle gave you the work. You fought him until he agreed. I did not fight him. You nearly did. Mina looked toward the sea. When did you know you loved me? Rhett thought for a moment. Maybe when you taught me how to repair my first net. That was a bad net. It was a terrible net. You made every hole worse. You kept sitting beside me. Mina's eyes became wet. You should have told me the truth that night. I know. You had many chances. I know. Why did you wait? Rhett looked down at his rough hands. Because fear made me selfish. Mina did not expect that answer. Rhett continued. I told myself I was protecting what we had. But I was protecting myself. I wanted you to love the poor fisherman. I was afraid Rhett Sinclair would destroy everything. He did. Yes. His honest answer hurt. But Mina needed to hear it. Rhett faced her. I cannot change what I did. I can only stop hiding from it. Mina wiped one tear from her cheek. I hated you when the reporters came. I understand. I hated the picture of you in that suit. I understand that too. You looked like a stranger. I was still me. No, you were one part of yourself. Here, you showed me another part. Rhett nodded slowly. I thought I had to choose between them. And now I know they are both me. I am Walter Sinclair's son. I am part of the company. But I am also the man who smells like fish and cannot count Conway's baskets. I can still hear you, Conway shouted again. This time Mina laughed. Rhett laughed with her. When the laughter faded, Mina reached for his hand. It was the first time she had touched him since he returned. Rhett looked at their joined hands but did not move. I am not saying everything is fixed, she said. I know. I may still become angry. You should. I may ask the same questions many times. I will answer every time. And you will never hide something important from me again. I promise. Mina looked directly into his eyes. I cannot live through what my sister lived through. You will not. How can you promise that? Because I will not ask you to trust only my words. I will show you the truth with what I do. Mina squeezed his hand. I forgive you. Rhett stopped breathing for a moment. What did you say? I said I forgive you. He stared at her. Mina raised one eyebrow. Do not make me say it a third time. Rhett pulled her gently into his arms. I thought I had lost you. You almost did. I will never forget that. You should not. He held her carefully, as if she might disappear. Mina rested her head against his chest. I still love you, she whispered. Rhett closed his eyes. I never stopped loving you. Several days later, another black car entered Seabrook. This time, Rhett was standing beside Mina near the market. When he saw the car, his body became tense. Walter stepped out. He wore a simple gray shirt instead of a suit. He looked stronger than he had in the hospital, but his face showed worry. Rhett moved in front of Mina. What are you doing here? Walter looked around at the fishing boats and wooden houses. I came to speak to both of you. You could have called. I did not think she would answer. Mina stood beside Rhett. You were right. Walter looked at her. You are Mina Clark. Yes. For a moment he seemed unsure what to say. Then he held out his hand. Mina did not take it. Walter slowly lowered it. I owe you an apology. Rhett watched his father closely. Walter continued. I judged you before I met you. I called you a problem because I thought anyone close to my son must want something from him. Mina folded her arms. I did want something. Walter's face tightened. What? The truth. Walter looked down. That is something my family has not always given easily. You asked Rhett to deny me in public. I did. You wanted him to say I chased him for money. Yes. Why? Walter took a deep breath. Because I was afraid. I spent my life building a company. I began to believe protecting it was more important than protecting people. Mina looked at Rhett. He used to think that too. Walter nodded. He learned faster than I did. Rhett stepped closer to his father. Why did you really come? Walter looked at him. Because I have been watching what you did with the factory division. And you were right. Rhett stared at him. Walter gave a weak smile. Do not look so shocked. I have never heard you say that. I do not say it often. You do not say it at all. Walter's smile disappeared as he faced Mina again. My son became a better man here. Not because he was poor, but because people treated him like a person instead of an heir. Mina said nothing. Walter continued. I cannot remove the pain he caused you. Cannot remove mine either. But I am sorry. Mina studied him for a long moment. An apology does not change everything. I know, but it is a start. Walter held out his hand again. This time, Mina shook it. 3 months later, Rhett and Mina stood beside the sea in front of their families and friends. There was no huge hall. There were no reporters. There were no costly cars lined up along the beach. The villagers placed wooden chairs on the sand. Small white flowers decorated the fishing boats, and the Seabrook Fishing Group prepared food for everyone. Mina wore a simple white dress made by a woman from the village. Rhett wore a clean shirt and dark trousers. Conway stood near the front and looked at Rhett's shoes. You could have worn the old sandals. Mina laughed. I told him to throw them away. They were good sandals, Rhett said. They were broken. They had a story. They also had a smell. The guests laughed. Walter sat beside Elias. The two older men looked uncomfortable at first, but after a few minutes, they began speaking. You raised a stubborn niece, Walter said. Elias looked toward Rhett. You raised a stubborn son. Walter nodded. At least we agree on something. When Mina reached Rhett, he took both of her hands. The man leading the ceremony asked them to speak their promises. Rhett looked into Mina's eyes. When I came here, I thought I had to hide my wealth to find real love. I was wrong. I only needed to stop hiding my heart. Mina smiled. You made many mistakes. I did. You fell into the sea. Once. More than once. The guests laughed again. Mina's expression became serious. But you also stayed when leaving would have been easier. You learned that love cannot be tested, controlled, or bought. Rhett held her hands tighter. I promise to tell you the truth, even when I am afraid. Mina nodded. And I promise to remind you when you forget. I believe you will. They exchanged simple rings. When they kissed, the fishermen cheered so loudly that birds flew from the nearby roofs. After the wedding, Rhett continued working with Sinclair Holdings. He did not leave the company, but he changed the way he led it. He visited workers instead of only reading reports. He listened before making choices. Walter slowly began doing the same. Rhett also worked with Seabrook, but he did not buy the village or take control of the fishing group. Instead, he asked the villagers what they needed. They chose a safer harbor where boats could return during storms and a clean market where they could sell fish without depending on men like Blaine. The company provided building help, while the village kept control of the harbor and market. On the day the new harbor opened, Rhett stood beside Mina and watched the boats move safely through the water. You built this, Mina said. We built it. You paid for much of it. The company paid. The village planned it. Mina looked at him. You have changed. Rhett smiled. So have you. I was already perfect. Of course. She rested her head on his shoulder. A fisherman called Rhett from one of the boats. We need another pair of hands. Rhett began walking toward the water. Mina grabbed his arm. You are wearing a costly shirt. I can wash it. You have a meeting in the city. I have time. You are still a billionaire. Rhett looked at the boat, the fisherman, and the woman beside him. Then he smiled. I am still a fisherman too. He rolled up his sleeves and climbed into the boat. Rhett had gone to Seabrook searching for someone who would love him without his wealth. In the end, he found something greater. He found a woman who loved the whole man, the billionaire and the fisherman, but only after he learned to stop hiding either one. The glass jar was already falling when Brielle Lawson moved. 1 second, An old woman stood beside a fruit stand with both hands around a small basket. The next, a young woman in a white dress knocked the basket aside with her handbag. The jar flew toward the floor, and the old woman lost her balance. Brielle caught the jar with one hand and the woman with the other. People gasped. The jar stopped inches above the hard floor. The woman's cane rolled away, but Brielle held her steady against her strong shoulder. Brielle looked as if she could lift a car, but she never used her strength to frighten people. She worked at a small fitness center near the market, and she often helped older people carry their bags before opening the gym. Her arms were thick from years of hard work, but her voice was calm. "Easy, ma'am," Brielle said. "I have you." The woman looked up with tired eyes. "Thank you, my child." The lady in white stared at a tiny mark on her silver shoe and cried, "Look what she did!" Her name was Sloane Mercer. Everyone in Silvercrest Shopping Center knew her because she arrived with drivers, guards, and costly bags. Two workers rushed to her side while the old woman still shook in Brielle's arms. Sloane pointed at the basket. "That dirty thing touched my shoe. This woman should not be allowed in here." The old woman stood straight. Her faded blue dress was clean, but one sleeve had been patched. "I am sorry," she said. "The walkway was crowded. I did not mean to touch you. Do you know how much these shoes cost?" Sloane snapped. Brielle picked up the cane and returned it. She already said it was an accident. Sloane looked Brielle over. Brielle wore black work trousers and a plain green shirt folded above her strong arms. "Who asked you?" Sloane demanded. "No one had to ask me." People raised their phones. Others stepped back as the store manager, Gavin Price, hurried over with a security guard. "What is happening?" Gavin asked. "This old woman attacked me," Sloane said. "And this woman is threatening me." "That is not what happened," Brielle replied. "I saw enough," Gavin said. He faced the old woman and pointed toward the exit. "You need to leave." "But I have not bought my medicine," she said. "The pharmacy is upstairs." "You should have thought about that before causing a scene." "She did not cause it," Brielle said. The security guard, Hector Dean, grabbed the old woman's arm. "Come on, madam." She pulled back. "Please do not drag me. My shoulder is weak." Hector tightened his grip. Brielle placed her hand around his wrist. She did not squeeze hard, but he could not move. "She said her shoulder is weak," Brielle told him. "Take your hand off me," Hector warned. "Take your hand off her first." For a moment, nobody spoke. Music from a nearby shop kept playing, but every eye was fixed on them. Hector tried to pull free. Brielle did not move. Gavin pointed at her. "You are interfering with security." "No, I am stopping a man from hurting an old woman." Sloane laughed. "You think your muscles make you important?" Brielle released Hector after he freed the woman. "No," Brielle said. "Doing the right thing is important." Sloane stepped closer until her face was only a few inches away from Brielle's. "You have no idea who you are speaking to. And you have no idea who she is," Brielle answered. "That did not stop you from treating her badly." The old woman stared at Brielle. She no longer looked afraid. She looked surprised. Sloane turned to Gavin. "Call the police. Remove both of them." Gavin reached for his phone, but a man in the crowd spoke. "I recorded everything." A second person lifted her phone. "So did I." Another voice came from behind the fruit stand. The old woman did nothing. Gavin stopped. Sloane looked around and saw more phones raised. "Put those phones down," she shouted. No one obeyed. Brielle bent down and gathered the old woman's things. There was bread, water, a folded paper, and a purse with a broken strap. She carefully placed them in the basket and handed it over. Sloane opened her handbag, pulled out several notes, and threw them at Brielle's feet. "Take that and disappear before you make your life worse." The money spread across the floor. Brielle looked down, then raised her eyes towards Sloane. "You cannot buy silence after showing everyone who you are." Sloane's face became hard. "Pick it up." "You dropped it." "You pick it up." A quiet laugh moved through the crowd. Sloane heard it, and her hands began to shake. Gavin leaned toward Brielle and lowered his voice. Leave now, and I will forget this happened. You watched an old woman get pushed, blamed her, and told a guard to drag her away, Brielle said. You should not forget it. The old woman touched Brielle's arm. My child, let us go. I do not want you to lose your job because of me. My job is not worth more than your safety. You do not even know me. I do not need to know you to know this is wrong. The woman's lips trembled, but she held back her tears. Brielle offered her arm. Can you walk? Slowly. Then we will walk slowly. They turned toward the exit. The crowd opened a path for them. Hector did not try to stop them. Gavin stared at the floor. Sloane stood among the scattered money, breathing hard while several phones followed her every move. At the glass doors, the old woman stopped. What is your name? She asked. Brielle Lawson. The woman nodded as if she was placing the name somewhere safe. I am Mabel Davenport. Brielle smiled. It is good to meet you, Mrs. Davenport. I wish it had happened on a better day. Mabel held Brielle's arm more tightly. Perhaps this was the better day. Brielle did not understand what she meant. She simply opened the heavy door and helped Mabel outside, unaware that the woman beside her was the mother of Roman Davenport, the richest man in the country. Brielle held the glass door open while Mabel stepped outside. The afternoon sun was hot, and cars moved slowly through the busy road in front of Silvercrest Shopping Center. Mabel leaned heavily on her cane. Her basket hung from one hand, and Brielle could see that her fingers were still shaking. Let me carry that, Brielle said. Mabel held the basket closer. You have already done too much for me. I caught one jar and argued with a rude woman. I still have strength left. Mabel gave a small smile, but it quickly disappeared when she tried to take another step. Her face tightened with pain. Brielle noticed at once. Your shoulder. My shoulder and my knee, Mabel admitted. They trouble me when I stand for too long. Then you should not be walking alone. I have been walking alone for many years. That does not mean you should do it today. Mabel studied her face. Do you always speak this firmly? Only when people refuse help they clearly need. A soft laugh escaped Mabel's mouth. Brielle took the basket before she could argue again. She placed it over one strong arm and offered the other to Mabel. Where is your car? Brielle asked. I did not bring one. Did someone drop you here? No. Then how did you come? By bus. Brielle looked back at the shopping center. The nearest bus stop was across the wide road, and several people were already standing there under the burning sun. You are not getting on a crowded bus with a weak shoulder. Mabel raised an eyebrow. And how do you plan to stop me? I will walk you home. My house is not near. How far? About 20 minutes. That is near enough. Mabel shook her head. You do not even know where I live. You can tell me while we walk. Brielle guided her away from the shopping center. Behind them, some people were still watching from the glass doors. A few had their phones raised. Brielle did not look back. After several steps, Mabel spoke again. That woman inside was right about one thing. Brielle frowned. What thing? She is powerful. So powerful people do not enjoy being embarrassed. You did not embarrass her. She embarrassed herself. She may still come after you. Brielle looked at Mabel. Are you asking me if I regret helping you? Yes. No. You answered very fast. Because the answer is simple. Mabel's eyes became serious. What if you lose your job? Then I will find another one. What if they lie about you? Then I will tell the truth. What if nobody believes you? Brielle slowed down so Mabel could step over a crack in the road. I will still know what happened. Mabel stared ahead, but Brielle saw her blink several times. They crossed the road carefully and entered a quieter street. The large shops disappeared behind them. Small houses stood close together. Children played with a flat football near a wall. A woman sold oranges beneath a faded umbrella. Mabel pointed ahead with her cane. My house is past the old water tank. Brielle looked at the road. You walk this distance every time you need medicine? Most times. Why not ask your family? Mabel went silent. Brielle immediately softened her voice. "You do not have to answer." "My son is busy," Mabel said after a while. "Busy people can still call their mothers." "He calls. Then he should know you are walking alone with a weak knee." "He worries too much." "That sounds better than not worrying at all." Mabel smiled. "You sound like him. Then he must be sensible." "He can be when he is not being stubborn." Brielle laughed. "Now you sound like every mother in the world." They reached the old water tank, and Mabel turned toward a narrow road lined with low walls. At the end stood a small house behind a rusted gate. Brielle stopped. "This is your house?" "Yes." The gate leaned to one side. One hinge had pulled away from the wall, and a rope held the two metal doors together. Brielle looked at Mabel. "How long has the gate been like this?" "Only a few weeks." The rope was dirty and worn. Brielle touched it and watched part of it fall apart in her hand. "A few weeks, perhaps 2 months." "Mrs. Davenport, do not use that voice with me." "What voice?" "The voice people use when they are about to scold an old woman." "I am not scolding you. You are thinking about it." Brielle sighed and opened the gate carefully. It scraped loudly against the ground. Inside the yard, several flower pots sat near the wall. Some flowers had dried, but others were still bright. A wooden chair stood beneath a mango tree. The house was small, with cream walls and green windows. It looked clean but old. Mabel reached the door and searched inside her purse. Brielle saw the broken strap again. "Your purse is damaged too. It still carries things." "That is not the point." "It is exactly the point of a purse." Brielle smiled despite herself. "You really do not like accepting help. And you really do not like minding your own business. My business today is making sure you are all right." Mabel finally found her key and opened the door. The living room was simple. There was a brown sofa, a small table, an old television, and several framed photographs. Brielle noticed one picture of Mabel standing beside a tall young man in a dark suit. His face was calm, but his eyes looked sharp. "That is your son?" Brielle asked. Mabel followed her eyes. "Yes, Roman. He looks serious. He was angry that day." "What happened?" "I refused to attend a large dinner." "Why?" "Too many proud people in one room." Brielle laughed. "You may have made the right choice." Mabel sat on the sofa and rubbed her shoulder. Brielle placed the basket on the table. "Do you have pain medicine?" "In the kitchen cupboard." Brielle went into the kitchen, found a glass, and filled it with water. She returned with the medicine and waited until Mabel swallowed it. "Have you eaten?" Brielle asked. "I had tea in the morning. It is almost evening. I was going to buy something." "You bought bread. That is something. Bread alone is not dinner." Mabel pointed at the kitchen. "There are eggs." Brielle walked back inside and opened the small fridge. There were 3 eggs, half an onion, 2 tomatoes, and a little butter. "You were planning to cook with this?" "I have made meals with less." Brielle rolled up her sleeves. "Sit down. I will make something." "No." Brielle turned. "No. You have walked me home. You carried my basket. You gave me medicine. You are not cooking too." "I am." "You have a job to return to." "My shift ended before I entered the shopping center." "A family waiting for you?" "No." "A husband?" "No." "Children?" "No." Mabel narrowed her eyes. "Then someone must be worried about where you are." "My landlord may be worried that I am late with rent." Mabel's smile faded. "You are having money problems?" Brielle picked up the onion. "Many people are. And you still refused the money that woman threw down." "She was not helping me. She was trying to own my silence." Mabel watched her for a long moment. "You understand people very well." "I understand disrespect." Brielle cut the tomatoes and onion, beat the eggs, and placed a pan on the small cooker. Soon, the smell filled the room. While the food cooked, Brielle looked through the kitchen window at the broken gate. "Do you have tools?" "There is an old box near the back door." Brielle found a hammer, a wrench, a few screws, and a piece of thick wire. After serving the eggs with bread, She carried the tools outside. Mabel followed slowly. "What are you doing now?" "Fixing the gate. You cannot cook and repair things in the same visit." "Who made that rule?" "I did." "Then I am breaking it." Brielle lifted the heavy metal door with one arm and pushed the loose hinge back into place. Mabel's eyes widened. "You are very strong. I work with weights every day. Men must be afraid of you. The foolish ones are." Mabel laughed so loudly that a woman in the next yard looked over the wall. Brielle tightened the hinge, replaced the weak rope with wire, and tested the gate several times. It no longer dragged on the ground. "There," Brielle said. "It should hold until someone repairs it properly." Mabel touched the gate as if Brielle had built a new house. "You did not have to do this. You keep saying that. Because you keep doing things you do not have to do." Brielle gathered the tools. Maybe people should do more things they do not have to do. If you're enjoying this video so far, please consider subscribing to my small channel. My wife promised to make me a chocolate chip cookie if I hit 100,000 subscribers before the end of 2026. So it would mean the world to me. That's it, and thanks for listening this far. Now let's continue. They returned inside and ate together at the small table. Mabel spoke about the flowers in her yard and the children who sometimes came to pick mangoes. Brielle told her about the fitness center and how she trained older women for free every Saturday morning. When the plates were empty, Brielle washed them. Mabel stood at the kitchen door. "Do you never rest?" "I rest when the work is done." "Your parents raised you well." Brielle's hands slowed beneath the water. "My mother did." "Is she still alive?" "No. She died 6 years ago." "I am sorry. She taught me not to walk past people who need help." Mabel's eyes lowered. "She must have been a good woman." "She was." Brielle dried her hands and picked up her bag. "I should go before it gets dark." Mabel walked her to the door. "Will I see you again?" Brielle smiled. "You have my name. The fitness center is near the market. Come on Saturday, and I will show you exercises for your knee." "You want an old woman lifting weights?" "Small ones. I may surprise you." "I hope you do." Mabel held Brielle's hand between both of hers. "Thank you for seeing me today." Brielle looked confused. "Of course I saw you." "No," Mabel said quietly. "Many people looked at me. You were the only person who saw me." Brielle squeezed her hand gently, then stepped through the repaired gate. Mabel remained there until Brielle disappeared at the end of the road. Only then did she go back inside. She closed the door, walked to the table, and picked up her old phone. Her fingers paused over the screen before she pressed one saved number. The call was answered after the first ring. "Mother?" a deep voice said. "Is everything all right?" Mabel looked toward the gate Brielle had fixed. "No, Roman," she said. "Something happened today." His voice changed at once. "Are you hurt?" "I am safe now." "Who touched you?" "Listen to me before you become angry." There was a brief silence. "I am listening." Mabel sat down and held the phone closer. "I met a woman today," she said. "Her name is Brielle Lawson, and I believe you need to hear everything she did." Roman Davenport stood at the head of a long table on the top floor of the tallest building in the city. 12 business leaders sat around him, waiting for him to approve a deal worth more money than most people could imagine. A large screen behind him showed maps, numbers, and plans for a new hotel. Roman had been speaking when his private phone rang. Only one person had that number: his mother. The moment he heard the fear hiding in her voice, the meeting stopped mattering. "Tell me where you are," Roman said. "I am at home." "Are you alone?" "Yes, but I am safe." "You said something happened." "What happened?" Mabel took a slow breath. "I went to Silvercrest Shopping Center to buy medicine." Roman's eyes moved toward one of the men at the table. Silvercrest belonged to him. "What happened there?" he asked. "A young woman knocked my basket from my hand. I lost my balance." Roman's grip tightened around the phone. "Did you fall?" "No. Brielle caught me." "Who knocked your basket?" "Her name was Sloan Mercer." Roman knew the name. Sloan's father owned a large building company. Roman had met the family at several business dinners, but he had never liked the way they spoke to workers. "What did Sloane do after that?" Roman asked. "She blamed me. She said I should not be allowed inside because of how I was dressed." The room around Roman became silent. One of the business leaders tried to speak. "Mr. Davenport, should we continue with the—" Roman raised one finger without looking at him. The man stopped at once. "What did the staff do?" Roman asked his mother. The manager believed her without asking questions. Then a security guard grabbed my arm. Roman's face changed. "He grabbed you?" "My weak shoulder." Roman pushed his chair back so hard that it struck the glass wall behind him. Everyone at the table jumped. "What is the guard's name?" Roman asked. "Hector Dean." "And the manager?" "Gavin Price." Roman turned toward his assistant, Cedric Hale, who stood near the door with a tablet in his hand. "Find them," Roman ordered. Cedric did not ask who he meant. He had heard enough. "Yes, sir." Mabel's voice became firm through the phone. "Roman, stop. I have not started. That is why I am telling you to stop now. A man put his hands on you, and Brielle made him let go. A manager ordered you out of a building I own. And Brielle stood beside me when everyone else moved away." Roman walked toward the window. Far below, cars looked like tiny moving dots. "Mother, I am coming. You are in a meeting. The meeting is over." One of the men at the table looked shocked. "Mr. Davenport, the foreign group flew in this morning. They are waiting for your final answer." Roman covered the phone for a moment and faced the room. "My mother was attacked inside one of my buildings. There is no deal important enough to keep me sitting here." Nobody argued. Roman returned the phone to his ear. "I will be there soon," he said. "Come calmly." "I am calm." "No, you are speaking quietly. That is not the same thing." Roman looked down at his closed fist. "I will speak to you when I arrive." He ended the call, picked up his jacket, and headed for the door. Cedric followed him. "Sir, I have already asked the center office to send the security records," Cedric said. "There are also videos online." "How many?" "Several. The first one was posted less than an hour ago." "Show me." Cedric held out his tablet as they entered the private lift. The video began with Mabel's basket flying through the air. Roman watched Brielle catch both the jar and his mother. He saw Sloane shouting. He watched Gavin point toward the exit. Then Hector grabbed Mabel's arm. Roman's jaw became tight. When Brielle took hold of the guard's wrist, Cedric glanced at Roman. "She stopped him with one hand," Cedric said. Roman did not answer. The video continued. Sloane threw money at Brielle's feet. Brielle refused it, then helped Mabel leave. Cedric paused the video. "Do you want the manager and guard removed now?" "Yes." Mabel's warning returned to Roman's mind. "Come calmly." He looked at Cedric. "No. Wait." Cedric seemed surprised. Roman almost never changed an order once he gave it. "Wait for what, sir?" "I need the full video first. Not clips. Not words from strangers. Every camera angle. You already saw enough." "I saw enough to become angry. I want enough to act correctly." The lift doors opened into the private garage. A black car waited with the engine running. Roman entered the back seat while Cedric sat in front. "Find everything about Brielle Lawson," Roman said. Cedric turned slightly. "Her job? Address? Family? Bank records?" Roman looked at him sharply. "Only what can be found without entering her private life." Cedric nodded. "Understood. I want to know where she works and whether she has any history of violence." "You think she may be dangerous?" "I think anyone who stands between a guard and my mother without knowing who my mother is deserves to be understood." The car moved out of the garage. As they crossed the city, Cedric read the first details from his tablet. Brielle works at a small fitness center near East Market. She trains adults during the week and holds free exercise classes for older women on Saturdays. Roman looked out of the window. "Anything else?" "She once worked at a warehouse. She left after reporting unsafe machines." "Was she fired?" "The official record says she resigned." "And the truth?" I am still checking. Roman leaned back. The video played again in his mind. He remembered how Brielle had looked at Sloane while the money lay on the floor. There had been no fear in her face and no hunger in her eyes. That interested him. Many people acted brave when powerful people were watching. Brielle had not known anyone important was watching. She had believed Mabel was simply an old woman with a broken purse and a weak shoulder. The car stopped outside Mabel's small house 20 minutes later. Roman stared at the rusted gate. "It has been repaired," Cedric said. "My mother said Brielle fixed it." Roman stepped from the car. He was tall, broad-shouldered, and dressed in a dark suit that had been made only for him. 2 security vehicles waited at the end of the street, but Roman had ordered the guards not to follow him into the yard. He pushed the gate. It opened without scraping. Mabel stood in the doorway with her arms folded. "You brought half the city with you," she said. "I brought 1 car. And the other cars at the end of the street?" Roman looked back. "They are not close. They are close enough to frighten my neighbors." Roman walked toward her and took both her hands. "Let me see your shoulder." "I am fine, Mother." She sighed and turned slightly. A dark mark had already begun to form near her upper arm. Roman's eyes hardened. "That guard will never work again." Mabel pulled her arm away. "Sit down." "Mother." "Sit." Roman obeyed, though he did not look pleased. Mabel took the chair across from him. "You want to punish everyone." "Yes. At least you are honest. The manager should be removed. The guard should be arrested. Sloane should be banned from every building I own. And what about the workers who stood silent? They should answer for that too." Mabel shook her head. "You cannot destroy everyone because you are angry. They watched you being hurt. Some were afraid of losing their jobs. That does not make it right." "No, but fear makes people weak. Weak people can learn. Cruel people must be stopped. You need to know the difference." Roman leaned forward. "If Brielle had not been there, you might have fallen. But she was there. That does not excuse what happened. I did not ask you to excuse it. I asked you to think." Roman stood and walked toward the window. "All my life, people have treated you with respect because they know you are my mother. The one day you go out looking like an ordinary old woman, this happens." Mabel's voice became quiet. "That is why I sometimes dress plainly." Roman turned. "You wanted people to think you were poor? I wanted to know how they treated someone they believed could do nothing for them. And now you know." "Yes, that could have ended badly." "It did not. Because of Brielle." Mabel smiled. "Now you understand why I called." Roman looked at the repaired gate through the window. "What does she want?" "Nothing. Everyone wants something. She did not ask for money. She refused money when Sloane threw it at her. She walked me home, cooked for me, fixed my gate, and left without even asking who my family was." Roman said nothing. Mabel watched him carefully. "She deserves help," she continued. "But you must be careful." "Careful about what?" "Do not turn her kindness into a business deal. I can give her anything she needs." "That is the problem." Roman frowned. "If she is struggling, why would help be a problem?" "Because some people give help in a way that makes the other person feel small. Brielle has pride, but it is not foolish pride. She wants to stand on her own feet. So I should do nothing? I did not say that." "Then tell me what you want." "I want you to meet her." Roman looked down at his expensive suit. "As Roman Davenport?" "No." His eyes narrowed. "You want me to lie?" "I want you to keep quiet until you know her." "That is still hiding the truth." "For one meeting, not forever." Roman walked back to the chair. "What exactly did you tell her about me?" "That my son is busy and stubborn." "You left out a few details." "They were not needed." Roman almost smiled. Mabel leaned closer. "Meet her as my son, not as the richest man in the country. No long cars, no guards standing behind you, no expensive gifts." "What am I supposed to wear?" "Clothes." Roman gave her a tired look. "Simple clothes," Mabel added. You must own at least one shirt that does not look more costly than this house. I am not certain. Then buy one. Roman looked toward Cedric, who stood quietly near the doorway. Cedric lowered his eyes to hide a smile. Roman pointed at him. Do not laugh. I did not, sir. You were about to. Yes, sir. Mabel smiled for the first time since Roman arrived. Roman took a deep breath. All right, I will meet her without telling her who I am. And you will not offer her money. Not during the first meeting. Roman. Fine. I will not offer her money. You will listen before you decide how to help. Roman nodded slowly. I will listen. Mabel reached over and touched his hand. That is all I am asking. Roman looked at the small meal Brielle had left covered on the kitchen table. Then he looked again at the gate she had repaired. Where can I find her? He asked. At the fitness center near East Market. When? She teaches older women on Saturday mornings. Mabel studied his face. You are truly going? Yes. In simple clothes? Yes. Without guards. Roman paused. They can remain far away. Very far. Roman rose and buttoned his jacket. Saturday morning, then? Mabel smiled. Roman had entered the house ready to punish everyone who had failed his mother. He left with a different plan. Before anyone learned that he was Roman Davenport, he would meet Brielle Lawson as nothing more than the stubborn son of the old woman she had chosen to protect. By the time Roman left Mabel's house, Sloane Mercer had already decided that Brielle Lawson would pay. Sloane sat inside the back seat of her car outside Silver Crest Shopping Center. Her driver kept his eyes on the road while she watched the video on her phone again. The clip showed Brielle standing over the security guard. It showed her strong hand holding his wrist. It showed people laughing while Sloane stood beside the money on the floor. The full video made the truth clear, but Sloane did not care about the truth. She cared about the comments beneath it. You were cruel to that old woman. That strong lady did the right thing. Someone should tell Sloane that money cannot buy respect. Sloane threw the phone onto the seat. Turn the car around, she ordered. Her driver looked at her through the mirror. Back to the shopping center? Now. The car returned to the private entrance. Gavin Price was waiting inside his office when Sloane entered. His tie was loose, and sweat covered his forehead. He closed the door behind her. This is becoming a serious problem, Gavin said. It became a problem because you stood there looking weak. I tried to remove them. You failed. There were too many cameras. Sloane moved closer to his desk. You told me the security cameras were under your control. They are, but people also recorded with their phones. Then we cannot control every video. No, but we can control the one people see most. Gavin stared at her. What are you saying? Sloane picked up his laptop and placed it in front of him. Take the center video. Cut out the beginning. The beginning shows you pushing the basket. I know what it shows. Gavin swallowed. You want me to remove that part? I want the video to begin when the guard is holding the old woman's arm. That will still make him look bad. Then remove that too. Start when Brielle grabs him. Gavin leaned back slowly. That would make it look like she attacked him. Exactly. He shook his head. If the full video comes out, everyone will know. Sloane bent forward and placed both hands on his desk. Everyone already knows you ordered an old woman out of this building. Do you think Roman Davenport will keep you here after he sees that? Gavin's face lost its color. Mr. Davenport does not watch small online videos. This one is not small anymore. He may not know. He owns this shopping center. Someone will tell him. Gavin stood. What do you want from me? I want the story changed before he hears it. And if I refuse? Sloane smiled without warmth. My father's company has 4 large contracts connected to this center. I will tell him you insulted me and allowed a violent woman to attack your guard. That is not what happened. Truth did not matter when you blamed the old woman. Did it? Gavin looked down. Sloane walked around the desk and stood beside him. You chose my side because you believed I had power. Do not pretend to be honest now. Gavin remained silent. Edit the video, she said. Send it to every local news page. Tell them Brielle entered the center looking for trouble. What about the old woman? Say she was confused and Brielle used her. That sounds cruel. Sloane's eyes became cold. You should have thought about cruelty before you became part of this. Gavin looked at the laptop again. His fingers shook as he opened the video file. Sloane watched him work. The next morning, Brielle woke to the sound of her phone ringing. She sat up on the edge of her bed and looked at the screen. The caller was Warren Cole, the owner of the fitness center where she worked. She answered quickly. "Good morning, sir." "It is not a good morning," Warren said. Brielle stood and walked toward the small window. "What happened? You tell me. I do not understand." "There is a video of you attacking a security guard." Brielle closed her eyes. "I did not attack him. The video shows your hand around his wrist. He was hurting an old woman. That part is not in the video." Then the video was cut. Warren gave a tired sigh. "Brielle, people are calling the gym. Let them call. I can explain what happened. One member has already canceled. 2 others say they do not feel safe training near you. They have known me for years. Fear moves faster than facts." Brielle gripped the phone. "Have you seen the full video?" "No." "Then do not judge me using a lie." "I am not judging you. You called me before asking for the truth. I am trying to protect the business. And I am trying to protect my name." There was silence on the line. Then Warren spoke more softly. "Come to the gym. We need to talk face to face." Brielle dressed quickly and left her apartment. As she walked toward East Market, she noticed people looking at her. A woman near a bus stop whispered to her friend. A young man lifted his phone and compared her face to the screen. Brielle kept walking. When she reached the fitness center, 3 workers were standing near the front desk. They stopped talking as soon as she entered. Warren came out of his office. He was a heavy man in his late 50s. Brielle had worked for him for 4 years. She had helped repair broken machines, cleaned the gym when workers failed to arrive, and trained members when other coaches called in sick. Warren pointed toward his office. Inside, Brielle followed him. He closed the door and turned his computer screen toward her. The edited video began with Hector reaching toward Mabel. Then it jumped forward. Brielle grabbed his wrist, and Sloane shouted that she was being threatened. The video stopped before anyone in the crowd spoke up. Above it was a headline: "Muscular gym worker attacks security officer inside shopping center." Brielle stared at the screen. "They removed everything that happened first." Warren nodded. "That is what you say." Brielle turned toward him. "You know me." "I do." "Then why did you say it like that?" "Because I was not there." "Do you think I woke up and decided to attack a guard?" "No." "Do you think I enjoy frightening people?" "No." "Then what do you believe?" Warren rubbed his face. "I believe something happened. I also believe the gym may not survive this." Brielle stepped back. "So that is why you called me here. I need you to stay away for a few days." "A few days?" "Until things become quiet." "And if they do not?" Warren did not answer. Brielle understood. "You want to fire me." "I did not say that." "You want me gone. But you do not want to say the words." "Please do not make this harder." Brielle laughed once, but there was no joy in it. "Harder for whom?" "For both of us. I am the one losing my job." Warren lowered his voice. "You know this place is struggling. We are late on rent. We cannot lose members. I brought many of those members here. I know. I trained older women for free every Saturday. I know. I stayed when you could not pay everyone on time." Warren looked away. "I know, Brielle. Then stand beside me. I have workers to pay. And I have rent to pay. I am sorry." Brielle stared at him for several seconds. "You are not sorry enough to believe me. I believe you may have had a reason." "A reason for what?" "For holding the guard. I stopped him from hurting her." "The video does not show that. The video is a lie. But it is the video people are sharing." Brielle's voice became firm. "So the lie wins because more people saw it?" Warren hit the desk with his open hand. This is not about winning. This is about keeping the doors open. No, this is about fear. You do not understand what I am carrying. And you do not understand what it feels like to have your name destroyed. Warren sat down. There is one thing you can do. Brielle waited. Make a short video. Say you became angry. Say you misunderstood what the guard was doing. Apologize to the shopping center. Brielle's eyes widened. You want me to lie? I want you to end this. By calling myself violent? By calming people down. And what happens to the old woman? This is not about her anymore. That is the problem. Warren shook his head. Brielle, listen to me. You cannot fight rich people with truth alone. I am not fighting rich people. I am refusing to lie. If you refuse, I cannot keep you here. Brielle stood still. Say it clearly. Warren looked at her. What? Say that I am fired. He opened his mouth, but no words came. Brielle waited. At last he spoke. You are fired. The words sat between them. Brielle nodded slowly. Thank you for finally telling the truth. She opened the office door and walked toward the staff room. The other workers moved aside as she collected her bag. One of them, a young trainer named Felix Grant, followed her. Brielle, I am sorry. Did you watch the full video? No, I could not find it. I was protecting an old woman. I believe you. Then say it where people can hear you. Felix looked toward Warren's office. I have a family. I cannot lose this job. Brielle lifted her bag onto her shoulder. That is what everyone keeps saying before they become silent. I am not against you. Silence always stands beside someone. Felix lowered his eyes. Brielle walked toward the entrance. Outside, two women were waiting with their phones raised. One stepped forward. Are you the woman from the video? Brielle kept walking. Did you attack that guard? She stopped. People gathered near the market stalls. Some stared at her strong arms. Others watched her face, waiting for anger. Brielle turned toward the phones. No, she said. I stopped him from hurting an old woman. A man shouted. The video shows you grabbing him. The video was cut. Do you regret what you did? Brielle looked directly into the nearest camera. She thought of Mabel's shaking hands. She remembered Hector tightening his grip on her weak shoulder. She remembered how everyone had watched until Brielle stepped forward. Then she answered, I regret that more people did not help her. I regret that money made grown adults afraid to speak. I regret that a lie may cost me my job. But I do not regret protecting her. The crowd became quiet. Brielle turned away and continued down the road with her bag over one shoulder. She had no job, little money, and no idea what Sloane would do next. But even with every step becoming harder, Brielle still knew one thing. If the same moment happened again, she would stand between Mabel and that guard without thinking twice. Brielle kept walking until the market noise faded behind her. Her bag felt heavier than it had when she entered the fitness center. Inside it were 2 shirts, a pair of training shoes, a water bottle, and the small notebook where she kept exercise plans for her students. 4 years of work had been placed inside one bag. She reached a quiet corner and sat on a low wall. Her phone had not stopped ringing. Some calls came from unknown numbers. Others came from people she knew. She ignored most of them. Then she saw Mabel's name. Brielle answered. Mrs. Davenport? My child. Where are you? Brielle looked at the road. Near East Market. I saw the new video. Brielle closed her eyes. Which one? The one where you spoke outside the gym. News moves fast. Did they truly fire you? Brielle did not answer at once. Mabel's voice became softer. Brielle. Yes. Why did you not call me? What would I have said? You could have told me you were in trouble because of what happened. You did not cause this. If you had not helped me, you would still have your job. If I had not helped you, I would not deserve the job. Mabel became silent. Brielle could hear her breathing through the phone. Then Mabel said, Come to my house. I cannot. Why? Because you will try to feed me, give me money, and look at me with sad eyes. I can look at you with angry eyes instead. Brielle almost smiled. I am all right. You have no job. I still have my arms, my legs, and my brain. Those do not pay rent by themselves. I will find something. Mabel sighed. You are as stubborn as my son. You said that before. He is coming to see you. Brielle sat straighter. Who? My son. Roman? Yes. Why? He wants to thank you. That is not needed. I told him you would say that. Then you should have told him not to come. I also told him you would say that. Brielle rubbed her forehead. Mrs. Davenport, I do not need thanks. He is not bringing money. That sounds like something you made him promise. It was. Brielle looked toward the fitness center in the distance. When is he coming? Saturday morning. My class may not happen anymore. It will happen. The gym owner fired me. You told me the class is free. It is, but we use the building. Then teach outside. Brielle looked up. There was an empty field behind the market. She had used it once when the gym lost power. Mabel continued, Those women come for you, not for the walls. Brielle slowly stood. You may be right. I usually am. That is a dangerous belief. So is thinking muscles make you right. Brielle smiled. Saturday morning, then. I will be there. You do not need to come. I know. The call ended. For the next 2 days, Brielle searched for work. She visited 3 gyms, a warehouse, and a security company. Every place had seen the edited video. One manager watched her fill out a form before pushing it back across the desk. We are not hiring, he said. A sign behind him read, Trainers needed. Brielle looked at the sign, then at him. You could have told me before I completed 3 pages. The position was filled. When? This morning. Then remove the sign. The man looked toward the door. I think you should leave. You think I attacked that guard. I did not say that. You did not have to. She collected her papers and left. By Saturday morning, Brielle had received no job offer. Still, she woke early, tied back her hair, and wore her plain green training shirt. She carried several small weights to the empty field behind East Market. At first, she feared no one would come. Then an older woman named Helen arrived with a folded exercise mat beneath her arm. I heard what happened, Helen said. Brielle placed the weights down. You do not have to stay. I did not walk this far to leave. A second woman came, then a third. Within 15 minutes, 11 older women stood in the field. Felix also appeared, carrying a large bottle of water. Brielle looked at him. What are you doing here? Helping. Warren may fire you. He already threatened to. Then go back. Felix shook his head. You told me silence always stands beside someone. I did not sleep well after that. Brielle studied him. Are you sure? No, he admitted. But I am here. Brielle handed him 2 mats. Put those near the tree. As the class began, a man stood across the road watching. Roman Davenport wore faded brown trousers, a simple blue shirt, and old walking shoes Cedric had bought from a small shop. Roman had argued about the shoes for 10 minutes. They are uncomfortable, he had said. Cedric had answered, That is because they cost less than your breakfast. Roman had left his car 3 streets away. 2 guards stayed out of sight, though he knew they were nearby. He looked nothing like the man from the framed photograph inside Mabel's house. Without his dark suit, watch, and careful business clothes, he appeared like an ordinary office worker. Mabel stood beside him. You are staring, she said. I am watching. You are staring seriously. That is how I watch. You will frighten people. Roman looked at the field. Brielle was showing the women how to raise their arms without hurting their shoulders. Lift only this high, Brielle said. Pain is not a sign that you are doing well. If it hurts, stop. One woman tried to lift a small weight and nearly dropped it. Brielle caught it quickly. Easy, Helen. I used to carry bags of rice, Helen complained. When? 30 years ago. Your arms remember. Your knees do not. The women laughed. Roman looked at Mabel. She speaks to them like family. She treats them like people. That should be normal. It should be. Mabel stepped into the field. Brielle noticed her and smiled. You came. I said I would. Then Brielle saw Roman. He was taller than she expected. His face was calm, but his eyes moved over everything as if he was searching for danger. Mabel waved him forward. This is my son. Roman walked toward them. Brielle held out her hand. Roman. He shook it. Brielle. His grip was firm, but hers was stronger than he expected. Thank you for helping my mother, he said. You are welcome. I heard you also walked her home, cooked for her, and repaired the gate. Brielle looked at Mabel. You told him everything? I left out the part where you argued with me. You argued first. Roman almost smiled. My mother said you refused money. I refused money thrown at me. That is different from refusing help. Brielle's eyes narrowed slightly. Are you here to offer help? Roman remembered his promise. No. Mabel cleared her throat. Roman looked at her. I am here to thank you, he corrected. Brielle nodded. Then thank you for coming. She turned back toward the group. You can join the class. Roman looked surprised. I came to watch. Watching does not help your body. Mabel smiled. She is right. Roman looked around at the older women. One of them pointed to an empty space. Stand there, young man. Roman removed his shoes and stepped onto the grass. Brielle handed him 2 small weights. He looked at them. These are very light. That is what proud people say before their shoulders start shaking. Several women laughed. Roman lifted the weights. For the first few movements, he found the exercise easy. Then Brielle told everyone to hold their arms still. After 30 seconds, Roman's shoulders began to burn. Brielle walked past him. Still very light? He kept his arms raised. Yes. Your face disagrees. Mabel laughed louder than anyone. After the class, the women gathered beneath the tree. Brielle handed out water from a large cooler. A small boy approached from the market. His shirt was torn, and he carried a heavy basket of vegetables. Brielle hurried toward him. Where is your mother? At her stall. Why are you carrying this alone? She hurt her hand. Brielle took the basket. Show me. Roman watched as she carried it toward the market. Mabel looked at him. You wanted to know who she is. Roman followed without answering. At the stall, a tired woman sat with cloth wrapped around her hand. Brielle placed the basket down. What happened? A crate fell, the woman said. Did you clean the cut? I have customers. That is not an answer. Brielle opened her bag and took out a small first aid box. Roman noticed that the box was old but full. Brielle cleaned the woman's hand while the woman complained. I cannot close the stall. I did not ask you to close it. I need the money. I said I am cleaning your hand, not stealing your tomatoes. The woman smiled through the pain. Roman watched Brielle tie a clean bandage around the cut. How much do I owe you? The woman asked. Nothing. At least take some vegetables. Brielle picked up 1 tomato. I will take this so you stop arguing. As they returned to the field, Roman spoke. Do you always carry medical supplies? At the gym, people get small injuries. You no longer work there. The injuries did not disappear because I lost my job. A group of children ran past them. One stopped near Brielle. Coach, are we still training this afternoon? Yes. Even without the gym? We have a field. What if it rains? Then we get wet. The boy grinned and ran away. Roman looked at her. You train children too? Only basic exercise. For free. Their parents cannot pay. How do you survive if you keep working without payment? Brielle's face changed. I charge people who can pay. And now I find another job. Roman chose his next words carefully. My mother said you are having money trouble. Brielle stopped walking. Your mother talks too much. She worries about you. She should worry about her shoulder. She does not separate the two. Brielle faced him. Listen, Roman. I helped your mother because she needed help. I did not do it so her son could study my life. I am not studying your life. You asked how I survive. Because I am trying to understand you. Why? Roman had answered harder questions in rooms full of powerful people. Yet he found himself choosing every word carefully now. Most people would have accepted Sloane's money. I am not most people. Most people would regret losing their job. I regret losing it, but not helping my mother. No, even now. Roman looked at the empty field, the old weights, and the women waiting beneath the tree. What if helping her costs you more? Brielle stepped closer. Then it costs me more. You say that easily. It is not easy. Her voice became quieter. My rent is due. I have little money left. Every place I visit has seen that false video. I am scared, Roman. But being scared does not change what happened. Roman did not speak. Brielle pointed toward Mabel. Your mother said the guard was hurting her. Everyone heard it. People stayed silent because Sloane looked rich. I stepped forward because someone had to. And if nobody ever learns the truth, I will still know I did not leave her alone. Roman looked at his mother. Mabel's face said nothing, but her eyes told him she had been right. Brielle walked back to the women and began collecting the exercise mats. Roman helped without being asked. For the next hour, he carried weights, moved benches, and filled cups with water. Nobody bowed to him. Nobody called him sir. Nobody knew that he could buy every building around the field. Brielle treated him like any other person. When he lifted the wrong box, she corrected him. When he stood in the way, she told him to move. When an old woman needed a chair, Brielle asked him to carry it. Roman obeyed every time. As the group left, Mabel walked ahead with Helen. Roman remained beside Brielle. You were different from what I expected, he said. What did you expect? Someone angry. I am angry. You hide it well. No, I just choose where to place it. Roman nodded slowly. Brielle picked up the final bag. Tell your mother I will visit her tomorrow. She will be happy. And tell her not to cook too much. She will ignore that. I know. Roman watched Brielle walk toward the market, carrying the weights alone. He had come hoping to learn whether her kindness had been an act. Instead, he had watched her help old women, children, and a hurt seller when she believed nobody important was watching. For the first time in many years, Roman Davenport met someone who did not care about his name because she did not know it. He decided to keep it that way a little longer. Roman watched Brielle disappear into the market with the bag of weights over her shoulder. He stayed beside the empty field until Mabel returned from speaking with Helen. Well? Mabel asked. Roman looked at the road where Brielle had gone. You were right. Mabel smiled. I know. She helps everyone. I told you that too. She also has no job, little money, and a false video following her everywhere. Mabel's smile faded. Roman continued, I can fix all of it today. No, Mother. You promised to listen before deciding how to help. I listened. For one morning. I saw enough. Mabel stepped closer. You saw a strong woman. Do not make the mistake of thinking strong people cannot be hurt by the way you help them. Roman folded his arms. What do you expect me to do? Stand there while she loses everything? I expect you to protect her without controlling her. That sounds impossible. It only sounds impossible because you are used to solving problems with money. Roman looked toward the market again. I will be careful. Mabel raised one finger. No lies. Roman did not answer. Roman, I heard you. That is not the same as agreeing. He gave her a tired look. I said I will be careful. The next afternoon, Brielle visited the old fitness center to collect a notebook she had forgotten. The front door was locked. A white paper had been taped to the glass. Building closed until further notice. Brielle pressed her face closer to the door. Inside, the lights were off. Exercise machines stood in the darkness. The front desk had been cleared, and several boxes were stacked near the wall. She knocked hard. Warren. No one answered. Brielle walked around the side of the building and found the back door open. Warren stood inside with two workers, carrying files from his office. "What is happening?" Brielle asked. Warren froze. "Brielle, why is the gym closed?" He placed the files in a box. "The building owner gave us notice." "What notice?" "We have 30 days to leave." Brielle stared at him. "You said the rent was late. You never said we were losing the building." "I did not know." "When did you find out?" "This morning." "Who owns the building?" "A company called North Stone Properties." "And why do they want us out?" "They are selling the land." Brielle looked around the gym. Children from the market trained there after school. Older women used the chairs near the windows. Workers came in before sunrise because they could not pay for costly fitness centers. "What happens to everyone?" she asked. Warren laughed bitterly. "What do you think happens? We find another building. With what money? We raise it." "Brielle, people are canceling because of that video. We can barely pay for electricity." Then we tell them the truth. "We have been telling them." "Not loudly enough." Warren picked up another stack of papers. "The truth does not pay rent." Brielle stepped in front of him. "Do not give up. I am tired. So am I. You lost one job. I am losing the business I built for 15 years. And those children are losing the only safe place they have after school." Warren's face tightened. "Do not put that on me." "I am not putting it on you. I am asking you to fight." "With what?" Brielle looked around. "With everyone who uses this place." Warren shook his head. "You still think people will stand beside you. Some will. And the rest? We do not need everyone." Warren studied her face. "You are truly serious." "Yes." He sighed. "The owner wants 6 months of rent paid before he will even discuss a new agreement." "How much?" Warren told her. Brielle's mouth opened slightly. "That much. That is why I started packing." Brielle looked at the dark gym again. "We will raise it." Warren gave a sad smile. "You do not even have money for your own rent." "That does not mean I cannot ask for help." For the next 3 days, Brielle worked from morning until night. She made handwritten signs and placed them around East Market. "Save our community gym." She spoke to sellers, parents, bus drivers, shop owners, and former members. Some people gave small amounts. Helen gave money from an old purse. "This was for a new cooking pot," she said. Brielle tried to return it. "Keep it." "No," Helen said. "My old pot still works. My knees need that class more." The tomato seller with the injured hand gave Brielle a basket of food to sell. Felix gave part of his weekly pay. But many people turned away. At one shop, Brielle explained the problem to a man who owned 3 clothing stores. He listened until she finished, then pointed at his phone. "I saw the video. It was cut. That is what guilty people say. I have witnesses. You also have arms bigger than the guard's head." Brielle kept her voice calm. "I did not hurt him. I do not want trouble near my business. This gym keeps children away from trouble." The man opened his shop door. "I said no." Brielle stepped outside. By the end of the 3rd day, the money box was still almost empty. Roman watched from a car across the road. He had changed back into simple clothes, but Cedric sat beside him wearing a dark suit. "She has raised less than 5%, Cedric said. Roman's eyes remained on Brielle. She stood beneath a small shade, explaining the gym to another shop owner. The man shook his head and walked away. "Pay the building owner," Roman said. Cedric turned. "All of it. Buy the land. That will lead directly back to you. Use another company." Cedric hesitated. "Your mother said no lies." "I am not lying to Brielle. You are only hiding that you are buying the place she is fighting to save." Roman looked at him. "Do you have a better plan?" "Yes. Tell her who you are." Roman's face hardened. "She will think I came near her because I wanted praise. She may think worse when she learns you hid it." Roman looked away. "Buy the land." Cedric opened his tablet. "And then, tell the gym owner he has 1 year without rent. Through North Stone." "No. Use the community branch. That branch is still yours. She will not know." Cedric did not move. Roman noticed. What? You asked me once to speak honestly when I believed you were making a mistake. I remember. I believe this is a mistake. Roman's jaw tightened. Save the gym. Cedric lowered his head. Yes, sir. The next morning, Warren called Brielle. His voice shook with excitement. Come to the gym. What happened? Just come. Brielle arrived 20 minutes later. The doors were open again. Warren stood inside with a letter in his hand. Felix and several older women were gathered near the front desk. We have been given 1 year, Warren said. Brielle stopped. 1 year for what? No rent. She stared at him. What? A company bought the land last night. They are allowing us to stay for 12 months without paying rent. The women began cheering. Helen hugged Brielle. You did it. Brielle did not move. I did not do this. Warren waved the letter. It says the new owner heard about our work in the community. Who is the owner? The name is Golden Bridge Community Trust. Brielle took the letter and read it. There was no name of a person, only a signature from a legal officer. She looked at Warren. Did you speak to them? No. Did they visit? No. Then how did they know about us? Warren smiled. Why does it matter? Because people do not buy land in one night and give away rent for no reason. Maybe your fundraising worked. We raised almost nothing. Helen touched her arm. Take the good news, child. Brielle wanted to celebrate, but something felt wrong. That afternoon, Roman arrived at the field carrying bottles of water. He smiled when he saw everyone moving the weights back toward the gym. I heard the center is staying open. Brielle turned slowly. Who told you? My mother. I have not told your mother yet. Roman stopped. Brielle placed a box on the ground. So I will ask again. Who told you? Roman tried to keep his voice calm. News moves quickly. That answer sounds weak. Felix looked between them. I should carry these inside, he said. The others followed him, leaving Brielle and Roman alone. Brielle stepped closer. Did you have something to do with this? Roman looked at the gym. Why would you think that? You asked many questions about the building. I asked how you would survive. You also asked what would happen if helping Mabel cost me more. That does not prove anything. No, but your face does. Roman met her eyes. What does my face say? That you know more than you are telling me. He gave a small laugh. You have known me for only a few days. And you have spent those days studying me. Roman's smile disappeared. I wanted to understand who helped my mother. And now I want to help you. Brielle's eyes narrowed. So you did it. I did not say that. You did not deny it. Roman looked toward the road. Brielle took another step. Who are you? I told you. I am Mabel's son. That is not enough. It is the truth. It is part of the truth. Roman remained silent. Brielle shook her head. I do not like games. This is not a game. Then speak clearly. Roman struggled for an answer that would not reveal everything. I knew someone connected to the company. Brielle stared at him. You knew someone? Yes. And you asked that person to buy the land? I asked them to look into the problem. Without telling me. You needed help. I needed honesty too. I was trying to protect the gym. By going behind my back? Roman's voice became firmer. If I had told you, you would have refused. That was my choice. And the children? Was it their choice to lose the gym because you did not want help? Brielle's face tightened. Do not use those children to silence me. I am not silencing you. You decided what was best for everyone and expected me to smile. The center is safe. For now. But I do not know what your friend wants later. They want nothing. You cannot promise that for another person. Roman opened his mouth, then stopped. He could promise it because the company belonged to him. Brielle saw the pause. There it is again, she said. What? That moment when you almost tell me something and then choose not to. Roman's voice became quiet. Some things are complicated. No. People make truth complicated when they are afraid of what it will change. He looked directly at her. What do you think it will change? I do not know because you will not tell me. Brielle picked up the box again. I am thankful the gym is still open. I am thankful the children have somewhere to go. But do not confuse thanks with trust. Roman stood still. Brielle. She stopped at the door. If you want to be my friend. Roman, stop hiding things from me. Then she carried the box inside. Roman remained alone in the yard. He had saved the center, but Brielle's words followed him more closely than any praise could have. Do not confuse thanks with trust. For the first time, Roman understood that revealing the truth later might not protect their friendship. It might be the very thing that destroyed it. Roman remained outside the gym long after Brielle carried the box inside. He wanted to follow her. He wanted to explain everything. But every answer led back to the truth he had hidden, and he was not ready to face the look she might give him when she learned who he was. Inside the gym, Brielle placed the box beside the wall. Felix watched her carefully. What happened out there? He asked. Nothing. That did not look like nothing. Brielle opened the box and began arranging small weights. Roman helped save the gym. Felix's eyes widened. How? He says he knows someone connected to the company that bought the land. That is good news. It should be. Felix leaned against the wall. But you do not trust him. I do not trust half-truths. Maybe he was trying to help without making you feel like you owed him. Brielle stopped moving. Then he should have said that. Would you have accepted? That is not the point. It may be his point. Brielle looked toward the open door. Roman was gone. She felt angry, but beneath the anger was something worse. She had started to like him. He listened when she spoke. He worked beside her without acting important. He treated Mabel with care. Now every kind thing he had done felt mixed with a secret. Before Brielle could answer Felix, a black car stopped outside the gym. A woman in a gray suit stepped out. She carried a white envelope and looked around as if the dusty street offended her. She entered the gym. Brielle Lawson? Brielle faced her. Yes. The woman held out the envelope. This is for you. From whom? Sloane Mercer. The room became quiet. Felix stepped closer. What does she want? The woman ignored him. Brielle did not take the envelope. You can tell Sloane I do not want anything from her. She asked me to give this directly to you. Then you have done your job. The woman placed it on the front desk. She hopes you will make the wise choice. Brielle's face hardened. What does that mean? You will understand when you read it. The woman turned and left. Felix stared at the envelope. Do not open it. Brielle picked it up. You just told me not to judge Roman without listening. Now you want me to ignore this? Sloane is not Roman. No, she is worse. Brielle opened the envelope. Inside was a thick invitation printed on gold paper. The Silver Crest Children's Charity Gala. Brielle read the note attached to it. Miss Lawson, the events at the shopping center became worse than they needed to be. I would like to end the anger between us in front of the people who witnessed it. Attend the charity gala on Friday evening. You will be given a chance to speak and I will do the same. Sloane Mercer. Felix took the note from her hand. This is a trap. Probably. Then do not go. If I refuse, she will tell everyone I was afraid. So let her. She has already used an edited video to destroy my name. And you think she will suddenly let you tell the truth in a room full of her friends? Brielle folded the invitation. I think she wants something. She wants to embarrass you. Then I should see how she plans to do it. Felix shook his head. That is a terrible reason to walk into a trap. Brielle looked at the children training near the back of the gym. If she keeps spreading lies, this place may never recover. People still believe I attacked that guard. You do not owe them a show. No, but I owe myself a chance to answer. That evening, Brielle visited Mabel. Mabel was watering the flowers near the repaired gate when Brielle arrived. You look troubled, Mabel said. Sloane invited me to a charity gala. Mabel stopped watering. She did what? She says she wants to end the anger. She is lying. You sound very sure. I have met people like her all my life. Proud people do not seek peace when they believe they can still win. Brielle handed her the invitation. Mabel read it twice. Do not go. Felix said the same thing. Then Felix has sense. Brielle sat beneath the mango tree. If I stay away, Sloane controls the story. She controls the room, the guests, and probably the people holding the cameras. That is why she needs me there. No, child. That is why she wants you there. Brielle looked at her. What would you do? At your age? Yes. I would go. Brielle raised an eyebrow. You just told me not to. I said what I would have done. I did not say it was wise. Brielle smiled. Mabel sat beside her. If you go, do not go alone. Will you come with me? Mabel looked toward the house. I have another matter to handle that evening. Brielle tried to hide her disappointment. Mabel noticed. I may still find a way to be near. You do not have to. I know. On Friday evening, Brielle stood outside the largest hotel in the city. The building shone with bright lights. Long cars stopped at the entrance. Wealthy guests stepped onto a red carpet wearing costly suits and dresses. Brielle wore a simple dark green dress Helen had helped her choose. It had no bright stones and no costly label, but it fit her strong body well. Felix stood beside her in an old black suit. We can still leave, he said. You have said that 6 times. I will say it 7. Brielle held out her arm. If you are afraid, wait outside. I am not afraid. Then stop shaking. I am not shaking. You are holding your invitation upside down. Felix turned it around quickly. They entered the hotel. People noticed Brielle at once. Some whispered. Others lifted their phones. She heard pieces of their words as she passed. That is the gym woman. She attacked a guard. Why was she invited? Brielle kept her head high. Inside the ballroom, round tables surrounded a raised stage. Large screens showed pictures of smiling children. A banner above the stage read, Building a Kinderfuture. Brielle stared at the words. Felix followed her eyes. That banner is almost funny. It would be funny if children were not involved. Sloane stood near the stage in a silver dress. Gavin Price was beside her, along with several reporters. When Sloane saw Brielle, she smiled. You came. You invited me. I was not certain you would be brave enough. Brielle looked around the crowded hall. You wanted an audience. I wanted the truth. Sloane's smile widened. You will have your chance. When? After dinner. I am not here to eat. Then enjoy watching everyone else. Sloane walked away. Felix leaned close to Brielle. She is enjoying this too much. I know. The event began. Several speakers talked about helping poor children. Sloane's father promised a large gift. Guests clapped while cameras flashed. Brielle noticed that many workers stood along the wall without chairs, even though empty seats remained at several tables. A young server dropped a spoon. A guest shouted at him until his face became red. Brielle bent down, picked up the spoon, and handed it to him. Thank you, he whispered. Sloane watched from across the room. After dinner, she stepped onto the stage. We are here tonight to speak about kindness, Sloane began. But kindness is not always what it seems. The room became quiet. Brielle sat straighter. Sloane continued. A few days ago, a video spread online. It showed a woman using force against a security officer inside Silver Crest Shopping Center. The edited video appeared on the large screens. Guests turned toward Brielle. Felix whispered, She promised you could speak. She will let me speak after everyone has already judged me. Sloane pointed toward Brielle. That woman is here tonight. A spotlight moved across the room and stopped on Brielle. Sloane smiled. Please come to the stage. Brielle rose. Felix grabbed her hand. You do not have to do this. Yes, I do. She walked between the tables while guests watched. When she reached the stage, Sloane offered her a microphone. You wanted the truth, Sloane said. Tell everyone why you attacked that guard. I did not attack him. The crowd murmured. Sloane tilted her head. We all saw the video. You saw part of it. And the rest changes what your hand did? The rest shows him hurting an old woman. Gavin stepped onto the stage. That is not true. Brielle faced him. You were there. I was managing a dangerous situation. You ordered an injured woman out without asking what happened. Gavin looked toward the reporters. She was confused. She was not confused. Sloane stepped between them. Perhaps we should discuss why Brielle became so interested in that old woman. Brielle's eyes narrowed. What are you talking about? Sloane turned toward the crowd. The woman's name is Mabel Davenport. Several guests reacted at once. Whispers spread through the room. Sloane continued. And Mabel has a son. Brielle's chest tightened. Felix stared at the stage. Sloane looked directly at Brielle. A very wealthy son. Brielle held the microphone firmly. What does that have to do with anything? You walked Mabel home. You cooked for her. You repaired her gate. Then her son began visiting you. People began whispering louder. Sloane raised her voice. Soon after that, a mystery company bought the land beneath your gym and removed the rent. Brielle looked at Gavin, then back at Sloane. How do you know about the gym? I asked questions. You followed me. I discovered the truth. No, you built another lie. Sloane faced the guests. Brielle wants everyone to believe she is a hero. But perhaps she learned who Mabel was before she left the shopping center. That is not true. Perhaps she protected an old woman because she hoped the richest family in the country would reward her. Brielle's face went still. The crowd began talking openly now. Sloane stepped closer. Tell them, Brielle. How much did Roman promise you? Nothing. A job? No. A house? No. Did he buy the gym for you? Brielle's voice shook with anger. I did not know who he was. Sloane smiled. So you admit Roman Davenport has been meeting you? Brielle's heart pounded. Roman Davenport. The name echoed in her mind. She remembered Roman saying he knew someone connected to the company. She remembered every pause, every half answer, and every secret look. Sloane leaned near the microphone. You thought you had caught the richest man in the country, did you not? Brielle turned toward the crowd. I helped Mabel before I knew anything about her family. Sloane laughed. That is what you want us to believe. It is the truth. Then why is Roman hiding around you in cheap clothes? Brielle looked at her sharply. You knew. Everyone important knows Roman Davenport. The words struck Brielle harder than any insult. Roman had stood beside her, carried boxes, asked about her life, and listened while she said she hated hidden truth. He had known exactly what he was doing. Sloane looked pleased when she saw the pain on Brielle's face. Now we understand, she said. The brave poor woman saved an old lady, found a rich son, and suddenly received a free building. That is enough, Brielle said. No, this is the part everyone deserves to hear. You know nothing about me. I know you saw a chance and took it. Brielle stepped forward. I did not take money from you. I did not ask Roman for anything. I did not even know his last name. Sloane lifted one hand. Then prove it. Walk away from the gym. The room became silent. Brielle stared at her. Sloane continued. Return the gift. Refuse Roman's help. Show us that your kindness had no price. The gym is not only for me. Of course, there is always a reason to keep the money. Brielle looked around the room. Many guests avoided her eyes. Others watched with open doubt. The same thing had happened at the shopping center. Powerful people spoke, and frightened people accepted their words. Sloane reached for Brielle's microphone. Then the ballroom doors opened. A clear voice came from the back of the room. Do not touch her. Every head turned. Mabel Davenport stood in the doorway wearing a deep blue dress. Her cane rested in one hand, but her back was straight. Roman stood several steps behind her in a dark suit. Brielle saw him, but Mabel was the one who began walking forward. The guests rose as she passed. Sloane's smile disappeared. Mabel reached the stage and looked at the large screen showing the false video. Then she faced the crowd. I was the old woman Brielle protected. she said. She climbed the stage slowly and moved to Brielle's side. Sloane tried to speak. "Mrs. Davenport, I was only—" Mabel raised one hand. "You have spoken enough." She took Brielle's hand and held it tightly in front of everyone. "This woman did not know my name, my family, or my son's wealth when she stood between me and harm," Mabel said. "She believed I was poor, weak, and alone." Her eyes moved across the silent room. "And she helped me anyway." Brielle looked at Roman, but he did not move closer. Mabel remained beside her, refusing to let go of her hand. For the first time that evening, Sloane had no answer. The proud guests who had whispered about Brielle now stared at Mabel in shock, while Roman stood at the edge of the room, knowing that the next truth Brielle demanded would have to come from him. Roman stood at the edge of the ballroom, knowing that the next truth Brielle demanded would have to come from him. Mabel still held Brielle's hand on the stage. Sloane stood a few feet away, but the proud smile had vanished from her face. Gavin looked toward the nearest door as if he was already planning his escape. Brielle stared at Roman. "You are Roman Davenport," she said. Her voice was not loud, but everyone heard it. Roman stepped forward. "Yes, the richest man in the country?" He stopped at the foot of the stage. "Yes." Brielle's hand slowly slipped from Mabel's. "And you stood beside me in old shoes while I told you I hated hidden truths." Roman looked down for a moment. "Yes." Sloane quickly grabbed her microphone. "There, everyone can see it now." Brielle was meeting Roman in secret. She received the gym after becoming close to his mother. Mabel turned sharply. "You are still speaking?" Sloane raised her chin. "I am protecting the truth." "No," Mabel said. "You are trying to bury it before it reaches you." Roman climbed onto the stage. Brielle moved away from him. "Do not come close," she said. Roman stopped at once. "I owe you an explanation. You owe everyone the full video first." Gavin stepped forward. "There is no other video." Roman looked at him. "Are you certain?" Gavin's lips moved, but no answer came. Roman turned toward the large screen. "Cedric." Cedric entered through the ballroom doors carrying a laptop. Two hotel workers followed him toward the control table. Sloane's eyes widened. "What is he doing?" Roman faced the guests. "The video shown tonight was edited." Gavin shook his head quickly. "That is not true." Roman looked at him. "I own Silver Crest Shopping Center. Every camera record from that day was sent to my office." A loud whisper spread through the hall. Sloane stepped backward. Gavin forced a laugh. "You may own part of the center, but you were not there." Roman's face became calm. "I own all of it." The room fell silent. Brielle stared at him, but Roman kept his eyes on Gavin. "I also own the company that bought the land under the community gym," Roman continued. "I ordered the purchase." Brielle's face tightened. Sloane pointed at her. "You see? She received a building from him." Roman turned toward Sloane. "She did not know." "You expect us to believe that?" "I do not need you to believe it. I have proof." Cedric connected the laptop to the large screen. Roman looked toward the hotel worker. "Play the full recording." The edited video disappeared. A new image appeared on the screen. It showed the shopping center from a wide camera above the fruit stand. The time and date were clear in the corner. Everyone watched. Mabel walked slowly through the crowd with her basket. Sloane approached from the other direction. The walkway was wide enough for both of them, but Sloane refused to move. On the screen, Mabel stepped aside. Sloane moved toward her again. The guests began whispering. The video had no sound, but it showed Sloane striking the basket with her silver handbag. The glass jar flew into the air, and Mabel lost her balance. Brielle rushed forward and caught them both. Someone near the front table gasped. Sloane looked at the screen, then at Roman. "That angle is misleading." Roman did not answer. The video continued. Sloane pointed at her shoe and shouted. Mabel tried to explain. Gavin arrived and spoke to Sloane first. He never asked Mabel what happened. Then Hector grabbed Mabel's weak arm. Mabel pulled back. The guard tightened his grip. On the stage, Mabel touched the dark mark beneath the sleeve of her dress. Brielle watched herself step forward on the screen and hold Hector's wrist. She did not strike him. She did not push him. She simply stopped him. The full recording continued until Sloane threw money at Brielle's feet. It showed Brielle refusing it. It showed witnesses speaking up. It showed Brielle gathering Mabel's things and helping her leave. The screen went black. Nobody clapped. Nobody spoke. Roman faced Sloane. Which part was misleading? Sloane gripped the microphone. She touched my shoe. She did not, Roman said. She came too close. The camera shows you moving toward her. She should not have been there dressed like that. A shocked sound moved through the guests. Mabel's eyes became hard. Say it again. Sloane looked at her. I did not mean. Say what you meant, Mabel demanded. Tell this room why my dress gave you the right to push me. Sloane's face became pale. I was upset. You were cruel, Mabel said. Sloane turned toward Roman. My father has worked with your companies for years. Roman nodded. That is true. He will not accept this treatment. What treatment? You are attacking me in public. Roman's voice remained calm. The truth is not an attack. Sloane looked around for support, but even her friends avoided her eyes. Gavin stepped toward Roman. Mr. Davenport, I made a mistake. Roman faced him. You watched the full event happen. The walkway was crowded. You saw Sloane push my mother. I did not see it clearly. You watched the center recording before you edited it. Gavin froze. Roman pointed toward the screen. My office received a copy of every file change. Your worker account opened the video at 7:16 that evening. The first part was removed 12 minutes later. Gavin began to sweat. Sloane pressured me. Sloane turned on him. You agreed. I was afraid of your father. You said Roman would never find out. Gavin's eyes widened when he realized what he had admitted. Roman stepped closer. You blamed an old woman because you feared a rich family. Then you damaged an innocent woman's name to save your job. Gavin lowered his head. I am sorry. Brielle looked at him. Are you sorry because you lied or because everyone knows? Gavin could not answer. Roman turned toward the ballroom doors. Hector Dean is outside. Sloane shook her head. This has gone far enough. No, Brielle said. He helped create the lie. He should speak too. Roman nodded to Cedric. A moment later, Hector entered with two men beside him. He was not wearing his security uniform. He looked nervous as he approached the stage. Roman faced him. Did Brielle attack you? Hector looked at Gavin. Answer me, Roman said. Hector swallowed. No. The word moved through the hall like a sudden wind. Roman continued. Did Mabel ask you to release her arm? Yes. Did she tell you her shoulder was weak? Yes. And what did you do? Hector looked toward the floor. I held her more tightly. Mabel's hand began to shake. Brielle immediately moved beside her. Roman's voice became colder. Why? Mr. Price told me to remove her. Gavin quickly said, I did not tell you to hurt her. You told me to get both women out, Hector replied. You could have used care. You were shouting at me to move faster. Gavin stared at him. Hector looked at Brielle. She did not hurt me. She only stopped my hand. The edited video was a lie. Brielle held Mabel steady. Why did you stay silent? She asked. I needed the job. So did I. Hector's face fell. I know. No, you know now, Brielle said. You did not care when the lie cost me my work. I was afraid. Brielle's voice softened, but the pain remained. Fear explains why you were silent. It does not repair what your silence did. Hector nodded slowly. You are right. Roman took the microphone from the stand. Gavin Price, you are removed from your position at Silvercrest Shopping Center. Gavin looked up. Please, Mr. Davenport. I have a family. So does Brielle. So do the workers whose names you would destroy to protect yourself. Give me another chance. You had many chances. You could have listened to my mother. You could have stopped the guard. You could have refused to edit the video. You chose wrongly each time. Gavin's shoulders dropped. Roman turned toward Hector. You are also removed from security duty. Hector nodded as if he had expected it. However, because you admitted the truth here, your statement will be included in the full report. The police will decide what happens next concerning Mabel's injury. Hector looked at Mabel. I am sorry, ma'am. Mabel studied him. I hope losing your uniform teaches you that it was never the thing that made you strong. Hector lowered his head. Roman then faced Sloane. You are banned from Silver Crest Shopping Center and every private event held in a Davenport property. Sloane stared at him. You cannot do that. I just did. My father will pull every contract. Roman's face did not change. Your father's company will be reviewed tomorrow morning. If any contract depends on fear, lies, or special treatment, it will end. Sloane's mouth fell open. You would risk millions because of one old woman? Roman looked at Mabel, then at Brielle. No, I would risk millions to stop people like you from believing money places them above everyone else. Sloane dropped the microphone onto the stage and walked away. The crowd opened a path, but nobody followed her. Roman looked toward the reporters. The complete video will be released tonight. The false claim against Brielle Lawson will be corrected publicly. Silvercrest will also pay for the harm caused by its workers and management. Brielle's eyes remained on him. You cannot repair everything with a public statement. I know. You cannot hide behind your money either. I know that now. Mabel looked between them but said nothing. Roman turned back toward the guests. My name opened doors for Sloane. It made Gavin afraid. It made workers believe some customers mattered more than others. That happened inside a building I owned, so the failure is also mine. The room remained silent. Roman lowered the microphone. Sloane had lost her power in the hall. Gavin had lost his position. Hector had admitted the truth, and Brielle's name had finally been cleared. But as Roman faced the woman he had deceived, he knew the hardest judgment in the room had not yet been given. The reporters moved closer to the stage. Cameras flashed around Brielle, Roman, and Mabel. Guests began whispering again, but Brielle barely heard them. Her eyes stayed on Roman. You knew everything, she said. Roman did not try to defend himself. Yes. You knew who owned the shopping center. Yes. You knew who bought the gym. Yes. You stood in that field wearing old clothes while I told you I was afraid of losing my home. Roman lowered his voice. I wanted to help without making you feel small. Brielle shook her head. You decided what I should feel before giving me a chance to feel it. I was wrong. You asked me questions about honesty. I know. You watched me struggle for work. I know. You could have told me the truth at any time. Roman looked around the room. I should have. Brielle's voice became firmer. But you did not. No. Mabel stepped between them carefully. Brielle, Roman made a bad choice, but he did not mean to hurt you. Brielle looked at her. I believe that. Roman seemed surprised. Brielle continued. That does not mean he did not hurt me. Mabel slowly nodded. You are right. Roman took one step closer, then stopped when Brielle raised her hand. Not here, she said. What? I will not have this talk while people stare at us like we are part of their dinner. Roman turned toward Cedric. Clear the room. Several guests gasped. Brielle looked at him sharply. You cannot order everyone out of a charity event. It is my hotel. That is exactly the problem. Roman's face tightened. Brielle handed the microphone to Cedric. We will speak somewhere private, but the event should continue. The children should not lose their night because rich adults behaved badly. Roman nodded. All right. He asked one of the hotel workers to lead them to a small meeting room behind the ballroom. Mabel walked beside Brielle while Roman followed several steps behind. Felix tried to come with them, but Brielle touched his arm. I will be fine. Are you sure? No, she admitted. But I need to handle this myself. Felix nodded and returned to the ballroom. Inside the meeting room, Roman closed the door. The noise from the gala became distant. Brielle stood near the table with her arms folded. Mabel sat in a chair, but Roman remained standing. For several seconds, nobody spoke. Then Roman said, "I am sorry." Brielle looked at him. "For which part?" "For hiding my name. And for buying the gym without speaking to you. And," Roman took a breath, "for allowing you to trust a version of me that was not complete." Brielle's eyes became wet, but her voice remained steady. "You let me speak to you like you were an ordinary man. I am a man. You know what I mean?" "Yes." "You listened while I worried about rent. You asked me why I worked for free. You watched me carry boxes while you could have paid 100 people to do it. I did not pity you. It felt like a test." Roman's face changed. "That was never my plan. But you were studying me. I wanted to know why you helped my mother. Because she needed help. I know that now. You should have believed it when she told you." Roman looked at Mabel. She said the same thing. Mabel gave him a tired look. "I said many things. You listened to only half of them." Roman turned back to Brielle. "I cannot change what I did, but I can repair some of the harm." Brielle's mouth tightened. "How?" Roman pulled out a chair but did not sit. "I will pay you for every month of work you lost." "No." He paused. "I will give you a new position in one of my companies." "No. You have not heard the position. I do not need to. You could lead a national fitness program. You would have your own office, workers, and a large salary." Brielle shook her head. "No." Roman's voice became more urgent. "Then let me buy you a house." Mabel closed her eyes. Brielle stared at Roman as if he had proved her worst fear. "A house? You said your rent was late. So you listened to every painful thing I told you and kept a list of what money could fix. That is not fair." "No, Roman. What was not fair was hiding your wealth while asking me to explain my struggle. I am trying to make this right. You are trying to make the bad feeling disappear." Roman struck the back of the chair with his hand. "What do you expect me to do? I have the power to help you. Am I supposed to stand aside while you struggle? I expect you to ask what I need. I am asking now." "No. You are offering what makes sense to you." Roman became silent. Brielle stepped closer. "You offer money because money obeys you. You offer jobs because your companies obey you. You offer a house because buying one is easy for you. None of this is easy. It is easier than listening." Roman looked at her for a long moment. Then he slowly sat down. "All right." Brielle waited. He placed both hands on the table. "What do you need?" The anger in her face did not disappear, but it softened slightly. "I need you to stop seeing me as one problem to solve." Roman nodded. "What else?" "I need the full video sent to every place that shared the edited one. It will be. I need a public statement saying the gym did not ask for the land. I can do that. I need Warren to understand that accepting help does not mean he owes your company anything. He will receive a clear agreement." Brielle pulled out the chair across from him and sat. "That is not all. I am listening." She looked through the glass wall toward the hotel workers moving in the hall. "What happened to Mabel did not happen only because Sloane was cruel." Roman leaned forward. "What do you mean?" "It happened because workers thought a rich customer mattered more than an old woman." Roman nodded slowly. "The manager feared Sloane's family, and the guard obeyed a bad order because he needed his job. That does not excuse him. I did not say it did, but firing 3 people will not change the whole system." Roman studied her face. "What would change it?" "Rules that protect workers when they speak up." Cedric, who had been standing near the door, began taking notes. Brielle continued, "A cleaner should be able to report a manager. A guard should be able to refuse a cruel order. A young worker should not lose his job because he tells the truth about a rich customer." Roman looked toward Cedric. "Can that be done?" Cedric nodded. "Yes, sir. It would require new reporting lines and outside reviews." "Do it." Brielle raised one hand. "I am not finished." Roman almost smiled. "I thought you might not be." She pointed toward the ballroom. "Older customers need help desks in your large buildings. Some cannot read small signs. Some cannot walk far. Some are treated like trouble because they move slowly. Mabel watched her with pride. Roman asked, "What should the help desks provide? Chairs, water, workers trained to speak with patience, and someone who can guide people to the right place." Cedric kept writing. Brielle continued, "Security workers should also be trained to use care before force. They should not grab an old person just because a manager says move them." Roman's face became serious. "That will happen in every Davenport property. And people who look poor should not be followed around stores as if they are thieves." Roman looked down. "I did not know that happened so often." "It happens because people like you enter through private doors." The words hurt, but Roman accepted them. "You are right." Brielle looked at him carefully. "I also want the community gym protected." "It is already protected." For 1 year, Roman waited. "I want more than free rent," she said. "The roof leaks. 2 machines are broken. The children need safe mats. The older women need better chairs. I can rebuild the entire place, with the community involved." Roman frowned. "Why?" "Because it belongs to them in every way that matters. Do not arrive with workers and turn it into something shiny that they no longer recognize." "What do you suggest?" "Meet the parents, sellers, coaches, and older people. Ask what they need. Let them help choose the changes." Roman nodded slowly. "And you? What about me? What position do you want?" Brielle sat back. "None. You should lead the project. I will help, but I do not want a job handed to me because I protected your mother." Roman's voice softened. "You would not receive it because of that. You are already leading people. Then let me prove I can do it through my work." "You have already proved it to me. This is not about proving it to you." Roman fell silent again. Mabel reached across the table and placed her hand over Brielle's. "Then what can Roman give you?" Brielle looked first at Mabel, then at Roman. "His word." Roman sat straighter. "My word about what?" "That these changes will not disappear when people stop watching." Roman held her gaze. "You have it. That is easy to say tonight. Then judge me by what I do tomorrow." Brielle nodded. "I will." Roman looked almost surprised. "You will give me that chance?" "I will give you a chance to fix the system. And us." Brielle's face became guarded. "There is no us to fix." Roman looked down. She continued more gently. "Trust does not return because someone says sorry. I know. It comes back slowly. I can wait." Brielle stood. "Do not promise things you cannot control." Roman rose too. "I can control whether I tell you the truth from now on." She studied him for several seconds. "That would be a good start." Mabel smiled quietly. Roman had entered the room ready to give Brielle money, a house, and a powerful job. She had refused every gift. The only things she asked for were safer workers, respect for older people, fair treatment for the poor, and a secure future for the community gym. As Brielle opened the door and returned to the gala, Roman finally understood what made her different. Even when she was offered everything, she asked for nothing that belonged only to her. As Brielle opened the door and returned to the gala, Roman finally understood what made her different. Even when she was offered everything, she asked for nothing that belonged only to her. The next morning, Roman arrived at Silver Crest Shopping Center before the doors opened. He did not use the private entrance. He walked through the main glass doors with Cedric beside him. Every manager, guard, cleaner, and shop owner had been called to the large hall near the entrance. Warren, Felix, Brielle, and several members of the community gym were also there. Roman stood in front of them without a stage or a microphone. "I failed inside this building," he said. One manager looked confused. "Sir, you were not present when the event happened." Roman faced him. "I owned the building. I chose the people who controlled it. I allowed a system where money spoke louder than truth. That makes it my failure too." Brielle stood near Mabel and watched him carefully. Roman continued, "From today, no worker will lose a job for reporting cruel or unsafe behavior. Complaints against managers will be reviewed by a separate team. Security workers will receive new training, and every older customer will be offered help when needed. A shop owner raised his hand. Will these rules also protect workers when a wealthy customer becomes angry? Yes, Roman answered. What if that customer threatens to leave? Let them leave. Several people exchanged surprised looks. Roman's voice remained firm. No sale is worth more than a person's safety. He turned toward Cedric. Read the other changes. Cedric opened a folder. Help desks will be placed near every entrance. They will have chairs, water, large signs, and trained workers. Anyone who reports unfair treatment may speak without giving their name. Stores that follow poor customers without reason will face punishment. A cleaner near the back slowly raised her hand. Does that include cleaners? Roman looked directly at her. It includes everyone. Even if the person we report is a senior manager? Especially then. The cleaner lowered her hand, but Brielle saw hope appear on her face. Roman then faced Brielle. You told me to prove my word through my actions. Brielle nodded. This is the first action, he said, not the last. I will be watching. I expected that. Mabel smiled. After the meeting, Roman walked with Brielle toward the fruit stand where they had first heard her name spoken in the video. Workers were replacing the old security camera. Roman stopped. The full recording has now been sent to every news page that shared the false one. Did they correct the story? Most have. And the ones that did not? They received legal warnings. Brielle gave him a serious look. Do not threaten every person who says something you dislike. They did not say something I disliked. They shared a lie that damaged your name. I know, but people should correct the story because it is right, not only because they fear you. Roman nodded slowly. You are right. Brielle raised an eyebrow. You agreed quickly. I am learning. You have a long way to go. I know. The community gym remained open while Roman's team met with the people who used it. He kept his promise. He did not arrive with finished plans. He sat on an old chair while parents, sellers, children, trainers, and older women spoke. Helen pointed at the roof. When it rains, water falls on my head. Roman looked up. Then the roof comes first. A young boy raised his hand. We need a small football area. An older woman shook her head. No balls near my exercise chair. The boy frowned. We will not kick the ball at you. You kicked one into my soup last month. That was an accident. Brielle laughed. We can place the football area behind the building. Roman wrote it down. Warren asked for new exercise machines, while Felix asked for a room where injured workers could receive simple care. Brielle requested a kitchen that could provide food for children after school. Roman looked at her. A kitchen inside a fitness center? Hungry children cannot exercise well. That makes sense. It usually does when you listen. Roman smiled. The rebuilding took several months. The old walls were repaired instead of being pulled down. The people chose the paint, the rooms, and the new name. East Market Community Center. It had a gym, a small clinic room, classrooms, a kitchen, and a safe yard where children could play. Roman wanted Brielle to lead it, but she refused when he first asked. I told you I would not accept a position because of your family. You are not being chosen because of my family. Then prove it. Roman formed a group of community members to choose the leader. Brielle completed an application, answered questions, and presented her plans beside for other people. During her interview, Warren asked, Why should we choose you? Brielle looked around the room. Do not choose me because I fought a guard. Do not choose me because Roman knows my name. Choose me only if you believe I will protect this center and the people inside it. Helen smiled. What will you do when Roman tries to control everything? Roman sat at the back and folded his arms. Brielle looked directly at him. I will remind him that having the most money does not mean having the best idea. Everyone laughed, including Roman. The group chose Brielle without one person voting against her. On the day the center opened, children ran through the doors. Older women tested the new chairs. Workers from the market visited the clinic room, while Warren stood in the new gym with tears in his eyes. Brielle walked beside him. You did not lose it, she said. We almost did. But you stayed. Because you refused to let me pack. Felix joined them. And because Roman bought the land. Brielle looked across the room. Roman was helping a child adjust the seat on an exercise bicycle. He did more than buy it, she said. He learned to listen. Trust did not return between Brielle and Roman in one day. Roman stopped hiding things. When he wanted to help, he asked first. When Brielle said no, he listened instead of using another company to do it secretly. They spent time together at the center. Roman helped children with schoolwork, though he was terrible at drawing. Brielle attended meetings at his offices and asked questions his managers were too frightened to ask. One evening, they sat outside the center after everyone had left. Roman held 2 cups of tea. I asked before buying this, he said. Brielle accepted 1 cup. That is progress. I also told you where it came from. Even better. He sat beside her. Do you still think I am only a rich man trying to solve problems? No. Roman looked hopeful. I now think you are a stubborn rich man learning not to solve every problem alone. I will accept that. Brielle smiled. Roman became serious. I care about you. Her smile slowly faded. I know. I do not expect an answer tonight. That is also progress. I can wait. Brielle looked at him. You waited through many angry talks. I deserved them. Yes, you did. Roman laughed. Brielle placed her hand over his. I care about you too, but I care about the man you are becoming, not the name you were hiding. Roman turned his hand and held hers. That is the only man I want you to know. A year after the day inside Silver Crest, Mabel invited Brielle to her birthday celebration. She claimed it would be a small dinner. When Brielle arrived at the shopping center, she found workers, children, market sellers, gym members, and older women standing inside the main hall. Brielle looked at Mabel. You said this was small. It is smaller than Roman wanted. Roman walked toward them in a simple dark suit. No guards? Brielle asked. They are far away. Very far. Mabel smiled. I checked. Music began and the children brought out a large birthday cake. Mabel cut it while everyone sang. After the food was shared, Roman led Brielle toward the fruit stand. She stopped when she saw a small basket placed on the floor. Inside it was a glass jar, a loaf of bread, and a folded blue cloth like the dress Mabel had worn that day. Brielle looked at Roman. What is this? A reminder of the worst day in your mother's shopping life? Mabel called from behind them. It became better when you arrived. Roman took Brielle's hands. The hall became quiet. When my mother first told me your name, I wanted to reward you, he said. Then I met you and learned that kindness cannot be bought. Brielle's eyes filled with tears. Roman continued. You stood beside my mother when you believed she had no power. You stood against me when I used mine badly. You made my businesses better, my family stronger, and my life more honest. He lowered himself onto one knee. Brielle covered her mouth. Roman opened a small box, revealing a simple ring. I am not asking you because you saved my mother, he said. I am asking because I love the woman who taught me a different kind of strength. Brielle Lawson, will you marry me? Brielle looked at Mabel. The old woman stood with both hands resting on her cane, smiling proudly. Then Brielle looked down at Roman. Yes, she said, but we make every important decision together. Roman laughed through his tears. That sounds fair. It is not a suggestion. I know. He placed the ring on her finger and stood. Brielle wrapped her strong arms around him as the hall filled with cheers. Mabel watched them from the same place where people had once ignored her. The woman who had protected her when everyone else stayed silent was no longer a stranger walking her home. She was going to become her daughter.